Hello everybody, welcome to another video. This is beta miniseries, VOE beta miniseries 2. We're focusing on the elite specializations. Some kind of bad news, maybe. In fact, you probably already know the bad news. So in the last part, presented this idea for this series. We're going to do the Gauntlet. We're going to try and learn to make a build, and then I'm going to tackle the Gauntlet and see how far I can get. The idea was that last bit, that exciting bit, I could spin off into a video, which is kind of like half build and then half the performance of the thing. And I said at the end of the last part, I'd see how it goes in the YouTube studio editing and see about spinning the video off. I didn't make the video. I say make the video. I didn't publish the video as its own VOD, that section in the end, as you've all seen. Because I decided I don't think it's going to be good for a miniseries. 9 videos is quite a lot. I don't want to spam people with stuff that I don't actually think is that good. And the reality is, 90. So we'll see how it goes today. All right, but pretty much like 80% of the bosses are just going to die instantly. The commentary is going to be the same thing every time. And when one of these builds does fail, one of the new elite specs does fail at the thing. It's going to feel really annoying or weird if it fails just because, it was a skill issue thing. The build's actually excellent. And it's just a bit of fun. It's not meant to be that serious. But I don't think the videos are going to be that good. Like 9 times in a row of watching me kill Salazan in the same way. Do you know what I mean? And Halmy, the hammer character, over and over. So I don't know. I've lost confidence in it as far as like the VODs are concerned, like dedicated videos. But I still want to do it. We're still going to do the full thing. We're going to have the full series. We're doing the same thing. It's just only going to be on stream. I'm not going to spin VODs out of those little moments. They're not good enough, I think. I mean, if there's a really, really good bit coming up. So what I probably will do is like an actual normal-ass video where I give my impressions of the specs at the end. So there will be videos. In fact, it'll be better because it won't just be regurgitated stream shit. It'll be an actual video that I do, probably at the end, a sum up. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking there. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing good. We actually didn't do this yesterday, even though that was the plan, because about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the beta went down. It got pulled. There was a post on the forums where Arenanet said, we're looking into an issue. Then about, I can't remember how much later, X hours later, there was an update, which looked quite scary the way they phrased it, actually. They said, it's going down. We're really sorry about this. We're trying to work on it. We promise when it comes back, we will add extra time onto the beta, so you do get the full period of time. But yes, it's it's Friday night. Everybody wants to play it. You can't, basically. And the way they phrased it made it almost sound like it could be down for ages. But they got it up. So basically, there was 1 day of downtime for the beta, which means the beta is extending on the far edge by another day. So it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, so there was nothing to actually play or do. There's been some interesting bugs, like ritualist spirits persisting, shit like that. I don't actually know what exactly it was that really nuked it. I think they were having a lot of problems with Evoker. But yeah, so apparently they fixed the disconnect issues, and we'll see how it goes here today. So hopefully it'll be a little bit smoother. What I have done, so the beta actually technically turned back on in the middle of the night last night. I had people in Discord saying to me, "Hey, 2 a.m. stream," and I had Noct message me. Look, guys, if you specifically come to me with info, I always really appreciate that. That's so handy. Thank you. So Noct messaged me immediately and said, look, if you're in a bit of a night owl phase, you could do this. I'm not in a night owl phase. I mean, I am a little bit, but yeah, I figured I'll just record here this evening. So that's what we're doing. I actually was playing a lot of Monster Hunter last night. I'm kind of back into Monster Hunter in a huge way at the moment. Specifically Rise. I've started playing Rise. It's on there's a huge Capcom sale at the moment, so it only costs like a tenner for the game and the expansion and everything. And it looks a lot worse than the main series ones that went on Switch, but it runs really well, so who knows. So yeah, thank you for the information, guys. Thanks for keeping me in the loop with that, and you know, I was refreshing the forum thread anyway. Actually, when they finally announced that the beta was coming back on, they did it on a different forum post, even though they pretty much explicitly told people to keep refreshing that forum thread. But hey, so yeah, speaking about people messaging me, by the way, I had a really cool comment. You know, I was going on and on and on and on, probably too much, about gathering festival tokens to be able to buy your weekly box. Because these are like, you can only buy one a week, so if you eventually want the full set, it's going to take you years and years, so you don't want to let these pass you by. You really want to get them as they're coming in, which means grinding 10k tokens every time. Remember I went on and on about that? I was under the impression, so all the festivals have this is like a huge glaring hole right here in my knowledge about the festivals. All the festivals have these weekly boxes, and Arenanet are adding, like last year it was only the Sun-Grown, this year we got Sandswept. Next year they might do another, and it will go up to 15k, which is just mental, Arenanet. You want to put more sinks in for the tickets, to be honest. The Favors of the Pavilion. Anyway, I was under the impression these were all account-bound on Acquire, okay? Maybe because when you read that, it says account. The word account is there, but it's just saying one account per week. Maybe it's because when you actually open it and you collect these, they're account bound on Acquire. Because if I go to... Actually, it doesn't say account bound on Acquire there. It says soul bound on use. So hold on, am I about to make another mistake here? Let's have a look. So this is the Sandswept. Right, so you can't get it. So if I were to right-click one of these and try and sell it on the TP or buy it on the TP, it wouldn't work. The weapons are not on the TP. But someone messaged me and said, actually, the chests are what's on the TP. They are on the TP. That blew my mind. So all you have to do is type traders in. No, I know this isn't at all about the elite specs. It's about the goddamn festival. All you have to do is type traders in, and all of the boxes from all the festivals. Look at this one. The Solstice chest is 133 gold a pop at the moment. So actually, you don't have to slave away for the 10k tickets. All you really have to do is spend 7 gold, right? Or whatever the price is. So it's 25k. So it's not that expensive. It's not that cheap at the moment. But in terms of like time economy and stuff, it is way cheap. Even at 25 gold per box, it is a lot cheaper to just buy these outright. So, you know, I've been catching... These ones are only 7 gold, so I've got loads of skins unlocked. So thank you to whoever it was that messaged me about that. That was really, really, really handy. And yeah, the other thing is, these tokens, it is the best way to do it is the gambling stuff. So some of the people that I'm going to be raiding in Mount Barrior with have told me that through the festival that the gambling is actually not gambling. This is what I've heard, okay? So you're hearing this from me, from other people, but there's at least 2 guys in that group who basically, as far as I understand it, the situation with the gambling in the Labyrinthine Cliffs is this. If you have like 10,000 gold, if you have like 8k to 15k gold already, right? I don't know what you guys have. I have 2,000 gold on me at Liquid at the moment. I have 8,000 gems, so I've probably got, what, about 4,000 gold or something? Right? If you have in the 8 to 15 range, apparently you can gamble so much, buy so many of those boxes. If you can just break through the initial expenditure, you will get infusions back. Like, if you have enough money to push through the RNG, right? So that you're actually just dealing with the percentages and, you know, the actual, like, the raw maths of the drop rates, right? If you can foot the bill, then you will get more infusions out than money you put in, which you can sell on the TP and keep earning. So these guys are saying they've made insane amounts of money, like 50, 60,000 gold this festival. Tens of thousands of gold. Because if they had the initial amount, they spend it all on the boxes, they get the infusions, they sell the infusions, and they're in the positive. The point is, they are in the positive, and then they do it again, and then they do it again, and they do it again, and they send all these screenshots of these infusions and things. It's absolutely nuts. I don't know whether I really trust or believe that, but I mean, it seems fairly It might be a thing. I don't know. I can tell you that the infusions are dropping. And look, I sort of get... If people are doing that, then yeah, the amount of tokens they're getting is obscene. And it's like I said on the last part, it might have thrown off Arenanet's metrics of how much people actually have. Like, if you're a normal player not doing that, then you don't really have the tokens. So yeah, it's sort of a playground that I'm not in. But maybe something that's going on there. And what I'm really hoping for is to see some of the cooler infusions, like the Glob of Dragon Void. If that hits 5k, I might do my best to try and actually get it. But we'll see. So yeah, anyway, that's a little bit about the festival. That's a little bit about what I've done. Shall we get into the elite specs? Play a little bit? So there... Oh, I'm going to throw up a poll, I guess, actually. So we have the Luminary that I played last time. Now, on reflection, just one thing... So Mike was talking to me about this in Discord. He watched my stream, but I guess I didn't give certain impressions. So let's just put a point on my... This is my little review of Luminary. I don't like it. I don't think it's very good. I think the Shroud is awful because there's no art or satisfying sound effect. Like, there's nothing going on with the UI or whatever. Not impressed with that. The buttons are clunky. Feeling. I mean, a part of that's just learn how it works, right? I feel like if this was kind of like an Exodia type thing, where you're trying to hit them all... Exodia is not the right example there. If it was about like trying to hit the right buttons in the right sequence, and there were lots of ways you could sequence through it and dip out early or later for kind of like a big response, maybe it would be fun. But this thing feels undertuned, but not just... tuning doesn't matter that much to me, right? Because that shit's easy for them to change. It's number tweaks. The actual just fundamental idea of it... Ugh, I just... None of these are really fun, flashy, cool animations. I'm not into this strap. This feels rubbish. This feels like a toe... by the way, I realised, you know, I was having muscle memory issues getting in and out of the Shroud. I was expecting to be able to weapon swap out of the Shroud. I'll tell you why. It's because I'm so used to, on Guardian, if you're on a firebrand, you hit an F key, it gives you 5 new buttons, you do whatever, and then you weapon swap out. You weapon swap out of it, right? It's tomes. It feels like being a really crappy firebrand. And there's so much like ingrained in it. That's why I'm trying to weapon swap out. Like, I'm spamming the key right now. Because on Firebrand, that's a legitimate way of getting out of one of the tomes. That's what did that to me mentally there. Now, that's not a huge criticism of the class. I would just learn that over time. But I think that realization for me, that this thing just feels... It's like a Firebrand with one tome. And the tome is not fun. The tome doesn't feel good. The tome doesn't look good. All right? Like, really think about FB tome skills. Like, all the big fancy fucking 5s you get. There's a lot of fun abilities. Playing support FB in World vs. World, or specifically competitive PvP, where I played most of it, is really fun. I love all the tools and the utility and stuff that you get out of it. And this is just like... Ugh, God. Like, I have more fun pressing an F3 than, like, this 5. So, the Shroud is, like, the thing about it. So, I'm not a fan of the Shroud. Anyway. The utilities... even the elite kind of has a cool visual, kind of. I kind of like that, but I don't know. I'm not that impressed with it. It's not like that ring actually does anything. Oh, no, yeah, it's the tether, and if they run out, I don't know. The elite, I'm like okay about. And this skill, Effulgent Stance, I love, because it just does so many things. So, the Shroud, I'm not interested in. Most of the stances don't feel like stances, so I don't have a very positive opinion about that. And then finally, for the traits, I'm not interested in any of the traits. None of them feel that transformative. There are 2 things I like about the traits, the whole class. This is what I like. I love this one. Sovereign of Light. That is cool. Gain light aura when entering Shroud, and you can now detonate the aura whenever you use a Luminary skill. Yes, it's basically the Berserker Fire aura thing again, but I don't care. It's a different aura, so it's completely different elements of the buildcraft. It hooks in a really fun way, like what we did with Radiance before. I love this Grandmaster. This is a cool Grandmaster. And lastly, I like spamming Alacrity in an easier way than you would do on Willbender. That's it. That's my review of Luminary. I have a very low opinion of it. That's basically in a nutshell. It was interesting and novel to play something new. But all the elite specs are going to have that. So there you go. That's my sum up of Luminary. Now, let's get on into a new one. So, I'm going to give you guys a poll. Anyone who's managed to make it to this live video, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give you... So, every time I'm going to add one new option to the poll, okay? I suppose we could add 2. No, we're going to add 1. So, I gave you Luminary, we've done it. I also gave you Antiquary, and I also gave you Conduit last time, okay? So, I'll add a third option now. What should the third option be? Let's see, let me think. Let me rack my brain for something that I'm not really that excited about. I'm trying to go, like, lowest to... weakest to strongest in terms of my excitement, right? I'm trying to build up to the really good ones. So... sorry, guys. Bit of a cough there. Let's see. Rit, I'm quite excited about. Paragon, I'm reasonably excited about. Amalgam, I'm reasonably excited about. Gale Shot, I'm very excited about. Evoker, I'm very excited about. Troubadour, I'm not that excited about. Troubadour might be interesting because of the... Antiquary. Wait, what's the last... Oh, I've just listed them all. It's amazing how quickly you list them all. I guess Troubadour? I'll put down there. Troubadour's going to be a weird one. All right, there you go. The poll is live, guys. Vote in the poll. Troubadour's a weird one because... like, I'm not sure how we'll test the supportive elements. Same with Paragon, really. But we'll see. I think Troubadour has a really good theme. It's just, did they execute it well? Which is kind of a very different question to Luminary, which I don't even like the theme. Okay, so anyway, but 2 of these on this poll, right, is the Antiquary. So I have an Antiquary here. This guy is called the Scrittening. It's a great name, isn't it? It's like the happening. And then this guy is called the Conduiting, which also I think you'll all agree is genius. Do you know what? I should have put that poll on. Like, ages ago. Can I just say, okay, so here's some screenshots for you guys while we wait for results to come in on the poll. Does anyone have this error? I think I need to go to Arenanet support. My API key does not work for my account. It is impossible for me to generate an API key for this account. I don't know why. It broke a few years ago. This is the error I get. Maybe it's my account has a lot of shit. I'm not trying to like flex, all right? The account has a lot of shit on it, and it has weird shit on it as well. You know, it like has the flag that means free transfers across America and the EU. It has the flag so I can spectate PvP. It's got like weird bits to it. It has like a friends list that lags the game if I a follower list that lags the game if I open it. So I feel like somewhere there's like the data is broken. I don't know what it is. It's really, but I can't use it Guild Wars 2 efficiency anymore, which is a real shame. So anyway, sorry, I took a little screenshot because I was showing some people that yesterday. I was very disappointed to see this here. Scrit Snatch is already in use. Oh, I don't actually know if I talked about this. If you follow me on Blue Sky, open the description. There's a link to Blue Sky. Follow me there. I had a little tweet about this. They renamed it. They renamed Scrit Snatch. Oh my god. I can't believe they renamed it. Renaming it is... Look, can I just say, alright, let's not be juveniles. There's nothing wrong with the word snatch, right? Snatch is a way to say steal, you know. To me, it's like a jerky, violent grabbing motion. That's what a snatch is. It's not even necessarily theft, is it? But I think there are thieving connotations, right? Snatch. It's fine. Right, just because in some areas people associate it with vagina, right? It's fine. It's actually fine. That to me, it's quite funny that they renamed that. That is absolutely the example of something you didn't have to react to the community about. You could have just left it. But there you go. So look, they are sensitive to what you're saying, guys. Okay. So what's next? Oh, this is completely irrelevant. Just while the poll comes in, you see this? I posted that in Discord accidentally the other day. That is an icon from Monster Hunter, guys. Tell me what button that is. You know, like, that basically is telling you, like, left mouse button, right mouse button, scroll wheel, whatever, right? What is that? Monster Hunter uses this icon as like a keybind. What is that? I think it's supposed to be like mouse 3, but to me that's clicking the middle mouse button. Or maybe mouse 4 or something. I've never seen a mouse like that. I think that's supposed to be the side of a mouse and a button on the side of a mouse. That's some of the worst UI design I've ever seen in a game. Anyway, where's the thing I'm trying to show you? Oh, I know what I was trying to show you all. Oh, there's this as well, by the way. The whole OSA thing. They're now removing it in what was the state? Yeah, Mississippi. Mississippi following along the authoritarian UK. Well, no, I was spying, privacy invasive UK. They also have the restriction, and Blue Sky just nuked the website in that state, which is quite funny. And they're encouraging people to, you know, call their local representatives, sort it out. Where the hell is this? Seriously, sorry guys, I will get it. Downloads? No, not downloads. Keep voting in the poll. We'll look at the response of the poll in just a second. Keep voting, everyone. Downloads. Open containing folder. What the hell? Yeah, it should be there. Did I delete it? Oh, weird. It downloaded into a weird folder. That's why. Okay. Here we go. Just this art. This is all I wanted to show off. Isn't that cool? I hadn't seen that. I've used that for the thumbnail today. It's mouse 1. No, mouse 1 would be left click, and they do have an icon for left click. It's not mouse 1. Oh my god, it's getting really hot in here. Turn the aircon on. They already have a thing for mouse 1. It definitely wasn't that. But yeah, this is all of the specs together. So I'll probably like try and crop and zoom and snapshot that in various places for the upcoming streams. Anyway, and look, the Gauntlet shot looks really good there. I do find it really interesting that Raza art features so predominantly a scepter skin that has nothing to do with the spec. It is a bit odd. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, everyone's voting on Antiquary, it looks like. All right, Antiquary it is. Okay. So let's do it. I will note, I had... So there was this other question of, like, do I play a little bit off-screen? Off-stream? Do I engage a bit with the game? I did a bit. I played a bit of the Conduit. I played nothing of the Antiquary. So you guys have voted on Antiquary. And I've done absolutely nothing on this, so we'll see how it looks. Okay. So we're in LA. I'm thinking of moving us immediately to a new map. And by the way, I found a good place to test stuff. The Sulphurous Springs. Lots of enemies, respawn fast, bulky. They have CCs, they have break bars, they have condis. In fact, I've noticed quite a few beta players are running over here. So, okay, so Antiquary. Now, I got a bit of advice as well in Discord. And this is some good advice to you guys playing the beta. Obviously, when you make a new character, it comes in with all this stuff. And it's not the Marauders that bad, by the way. Or Divinity, you know, Accuracy Force and stuff. Like, I sort of get it. If you want to unequip it all to swap for your legendary stuff, because, you know, Ascended quality, it would be nice at the very least. I'm going to say, by the way, the fact that they put you on exotic, does that mean that they still have metrics showing the majority of their players are in exotic gear still at this point? Anyway, I'm going to right click or unequip all items. I haven't been using, this is one of those things like you see, but like don't apply. Yeah, we don't have to go mousing through everything, just unequip all items. Now give me a right click, equip all legendary. I don't know, it'd have to randomly select, wouldn't it? So we'll put on our legendary medium stuff. The ugliest of the sets. God. Okay, so they defaulted me with a rifle there. Right. So I guess the Predator. That was the last Gen 1 rifle I made. Do you guys... Okay, guys. If you've played this, if you have any recommendations or thoughts of what you think might be fun, let me know. For the other set... I mean, I have no idea what would have synergy. Like, no idea. So we'll hold off on the other set for a second. I love being in the Isles of Janthir, listening to that Lion's Arch music. My favourite song in the whole game. And I guess I'll go Marauder just by default for now. We'll save the runes. Oh, we won't save the runes. What do we want to do for runes? I don't know. Dragon Hunter runes or something. Got no idea. Okay. Of course. We'll just go Arenanet's idea. There you go, but in Ascended and swappable. Okay, so what have they started me off with? First of all, we've got 5 utility skills to look at. They've given me Deadly Arts and Crit Strike, so very aggressive. We have Dagger Training, Revealed Training, Improv. You're not going to put me on Mug, even though the whole thing's about stealing? I'm putting Mug on. Also, no Improv? Surely Improvisation. What? Wait, sorry. I'm really confused. So we've got Twin Fangs, Practice Tolerance, and No Quarter. And they've given me... Okay. Trinket Collector. Steel is replaced with Scrit Swipe. Damn. Allowing you to pilfer from enemies. Successfully pilfering grants 2 random artifacts. Only 1 artifact may be used each time you pilfer, and pilfering overrides any artifacts you already have. Can I just say... I immediately feel like this spec would be cooler if the script was wandering around with me. Like how the lantern wanders around with you. You know? Or like how... In fact, I don't want to use the... I want to see the actual... Well, no, it doesn't really matter. Oh, also, let's go outfits. What's the Indiana Jones outfit, guys? Does anyone remember? Jungle Explorer, no. Well, let's just first check if there's one of the ones I don't have. Well, which is a list that's growing. I mean, look at this. Fucking maid. Showing a lot of thigh. He's got that thigh gap going. Oh my god. Igneous Regalia. Yeah, I probably have it. There is totally an outfit, right? With an Indiana Jonesy hat. It might be my character's 13th birthday. How time flies. Oh shit! Is it the start of... Is it year 13 right now? Is it the start of early access? The 25th of August, right? Press the Elite WP. Yeah, I remember it from the stream. It was pretty cool. I like the visuals for this. It's insane. Someone in the chat pointed out that this might be really, really like FPS laggy if you have a billion players casting this all at once. I do like the Elite, really. I really do like the visuals on that. And look, we get 3 fucking thrown items. Fuck, I forgot what I was looking for. I guess we'll just click through it. This really doesn't matter, does it? Happy 13th. You got mine yesterday. There's not any... Is there anything new? Liz has not hit her birthday. My first character was actually a Mesmer in this game. So my Mesmer will have the birthday present, and I've not seen it. I've been playing Liz today. I've gone by daily and all that, obviously. Dude, I like the Venom Bite. These are cool colors for Venom Bite. I might have gone crazy. It might not be an outfit. Is it just a hat? Is it just a hat that they added at some point? so many fucking outfits. I mean, the Mage Knight is maybe somewhat close. By the way, I swear in the promo stuff... Hold on, let's turn this back on. They've gone with human male for the Antiquary here, but if you look up early shots of the Thief back at launch, it was often a Sylvari. It's like the default male Sylvari, which is also what Rev is. Ah, this one's okay. Maybe this is what I was thinking of. Oh, shit, where'd it go? The Outlaw outfit. I might have been thinking of the Outlaw outfit. I'm just going to stick with that. There you go, Outlaw. Thief Guild gives you a script. Oh, that's really cool as well. Yeah, because obviously you get a third companion based on your elite spec, right? That's awesome. There's a script. That's so good. Wow, nice. I like that little detail straight away. And he's looking extra shadowy. His description is script. I wonder what he actually does in combat. So I can either spawn a million script or like this script. Okay. I guess we just, what do we do? Do we just start stealing stuff? So none of these are going away, obviously. Place an electrified shield at your position. This is the Chuck shield that blocks projectiles, deals damage to enemies within it. Oh, I don't have my about face set up or anything. And I think I have auto target on, so my instinct, yeah, like there, it just targeted a ambient. My instinct to move around quickly on this class. It's so weird, the new crouch. Honestly, I've barely touched rifles since they update. Oh, it's ground targeted. Okay. Zephyrite sun is Sunbreak. Canuck coin toss. Okay, that was a dash. Oh God, there's a lot of movement on them. It's actually quite unpredictable. Like, when you're playing Deadeye, obviously, they all behave very, very... The effects you get are distinct, but they behave very similar. Here, though, it's like, am I going to ground target? Am I going to move? What am I going to do? And that's... I actually kind of like that. That makes the new steals feel distinct. So, can I just hit one? I spawn the script, but nothing happens. But if I cast it on the deer, maybe something will happen. Let me, I'm going to put dual pistols on this other set, just because I can kind of brain off with the dual pistols on the other set. So 2 quips. Fuck the sigils for now, it really doesn't matter. Just so that I can just sit there autoing and let him do the 3 and stuff. Oh, I was going to steal from that, wasn't I? So yeah, let me hit F1 on the bug swarm. Look, it does not feel like I'm working with a script at all. But okay, sorry, taking a sip of coffee there. So the shield. Place an electrified shield at your position that blocks projectiles, deals damage to enemies. That's not ground targeted, that's just on me. I don't like this map because of the color grading and everything. Maybe where's a nice neutral? Well, I like the map, but I mean in terms of it being useful to show off the new visuals and stuff. Like there, that script animation looked really dark. Well, I guess it doesn't matter here. Mistburn Mortar. Shoot an orb that explodes upon impact with the ground, creating a corrupted area that deals damage and applies condies. So that's a great... Is F2 always a... No, it's not always going to be a ground target. Exalted Hammer. Leap to the target area and slam and do something. Hollow Dancer Decoy. Summon a Hollow Dancer Decoy that taunts enemies. It self-destructs if it's not destroyed, dealing damage to enemies in a large area. See, I see a lot of this stuff and I'm like, well, that's Phantasmal Defender. But let's see. I'm not necessarily always against when they reuse a mechanic or a skill or something from another class. Especially if it's tweaked, like the fire aura from Berserk. Oh, okay, we lost it when we mounted. Metal Legion guitar. So I'm guessing this is a PvAOE. Okay. As nice as Quip looks with the blue. I do honestly like the colour that you get when you have quips. The projectiles or something else though. Alright, let's move over here. Okay. Oh, the Surfer Dash. This one I was actually really excited about. I like this. I like the idea that okay, they're not relics, right, which I think is a failing, but just putting that aside for a second. I like this idea that they are enemy moves that we're using. I think that's really fun, and that getting the big iconic moves through all these years is badass. The thing is, right, so like I like this Forged Surfer Dash, I really do. I have a very high opinion of this as an idea. The thing is, guys, right, like if I had been designing these, it's kind of terrible that it's on Antiquary, because no longer moving that thing aside, it doesn't really fit on the Antiquary. But do you know where this does fit? So Mesmer in Guild Wars 1 had various facets to it, right? Yes, it had like conjuring and delusion and emotional manipulation as parts of it, right? Another part of its identity was signets, which is basically lost in Guild Wars 2, and maybe that's fair and you can't fix that. Another part of its identity was skill stealing. It was playing like blue, right? It was taking what your enemies do and using it for yourself. I think this Forged Surfer Dash is excellent on a like mimic elite spec or a mime elite spec or something like, call it whatever you like. They'll probably use a term that I wouldn't myself. But I think that's really fitting for an as yet unrealized Mesmer elite specialization that goes back into the skill stealing and the theft, right? Like a Mesmer that gets steal essentially, and they are learning, you know, Surfer Dash, and they're learning the Chuck moves, and they're learning like that. To me, that's a really good Mesmer elite spec. Troubadour is also very good, right? So I'm not saying do one instead of the other. I think ultimately, though, having both would have been great. But now we live in a world where they've taken this really fantastic idea, diluted it, because they're not all, you know, they're not all on the level of Forged Surfer Dash, and put it on a thief spec that it does not fit on. This is not a relic. This is not, you know, this is not stealing something valuable. This doesn't even really appeal to thieves. So I think it's actually done really bad damage to the future prospects of the game, because Arenanet haven't thought long term about it. You know, and there's a part of me that thinks surely they did think long term about it, and I wonder whether somewhere in that pool of ideas they had this mimic thing, and they had it earmarked for Mesmer, but time was running out. They didn't have an idea for Thief, so they kind of just fiddled everything together until we got this shit out the other side. It's not good work. It's not... I don't know. I mean, I would love to read in chat some arguments for why I'm wrong about that, right? Because I don't think I am wrong. I think they took a really good idea for a Mesmer spec, and now it's here. And one day, if they did do a Mimic or something, I mean, what are we saying? They've got a bunch of other cool abilities and iconic move pools from other enemies? I mean, maybe they do. So maybe it's not totally killed in its crib. But it just feels, you know, and even if that's the case, there'll be this awkward overlap in the future, right? Oh, I ground target it. Do I fly back? Oh, I hate it! Wow, I don't remember that from the stream. I really don't remember that from the stream. Oh, I know why I don't remember it from the stream. I've been deceived. Ooh. So on the official streams they do, they run a command or something to toggle them into a mode where they don't have cooldowns. And they don't consume ammo, I guess, ammo skills. So they were spamming the Forged Surfer Dash left, right, left, right, left, right, just like the enemies do. And it looked really cool. But that's not how it works. And look, I'm not an idiot. 99% of the time, I'm well aware that they just have that toggle and they're spamming things without cooldown. I'm not a moron, but on that specific occasion, it sort of felt like it was one channel. You know, it was kind of like Unrelenting Assault, right? Revenant Sword 3, when it originally released, it was quite long. And you don't have to be evading the whole way through it. It's not fundamentally broken. Yeah, so instead it's actually just this tiny little movement. It's not the cool big thing. I think that's another issue here, right? The big iconic enemy abilities, like the Surfer thing, they're strong, but they can't be strong because they've all got to be balanced around as strong as one another. I think a version of this where you were building to like a big coup de grace and you picked that stolen coup de grace would be really cool. But this all requires they make a lot of skills. This requires that they put a lot into the elite specs. I think another failing of the Antiquary, I can feel it already, is there's not enough buttons. Summon Cryptist turret. Now, look, I understand that there's a tight balance here. If you add lots of artifacts, and I use that very in air quotes, if you steal enough artifacts, then, you know, it's like playing a card game and your deck's got too much junk in it, right? Like, keeping it a nice diluted pool of 8 means it's a bit more predictable. It's more, like, I get that there is actually, it's not necessarily always better quality to add lots more. But I think I believe in a world where they have more than they gave us. And you account for that in the design and as you're playtesting it. So they're color-coded, right? So yellow is... So yellow's a stun break there. It's actually... Why has it got stun break listed twice? Break stun, dash towards your target, damage enemies and around you when you reach your destination. You evade attacks as long as you're still traveling. See, this sun crystal is cool. I would have liked that on a mimic. I'm guessing red is damage and purple is CC. Is that always the case? Let's see that. No, I'm totally wrong. They're not color-coded at all. It's just all over the fucking place. Look, there's definitely a thing where you just learn all of the the abilities and you can get into a flow with it. And it probably feels good to sort of get that mastery over it. Shall we see what the traits do now that we've had a little bit of a grip of the F skills? I will say this is better than Radiant Shroud. I'm not impressed with the animations at all. I don't feel like I have a script companion. I know technically if I squint my fucking eye... Here we go. Ready? Ready? Look at the frog over there. Look, 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 look. Oh! Did you see the 5 pixels that were the script? Where's the script on that animation? Is the script on every animation? The script is there. What is that scepter it's holding? The script was on that hammer, was it? Technically? The script's on that hammer? I couldn't see that. Maybe the script is more evident on the utilities. That's a big obvious script. This is a big obvious script. I mean, to be fair, it is. Is there a script riding on the surfboard with me? Oh, we could put spear on. I'm actually... Thief spear is one of the spears I'm very unfamiliar with. Oh, we just got a bunch more, even though I didn't script swipe again. I'm guessing you get it on kill or something, maybe? Okay. Sorry, I'm being really bad at this. Sorry, I'm looking at chat here. Let's see some of your response here. WP2, the search for script. The scepter is a chuck organ, hence the shield. Oh, that scepter I saw is a chuck organ, was it? Okay. I quite like the experience of... Like, it feels like you're mulliganing, you know? You're drawing a new hand or something. I quite like... Oh, of course he's deflecting those. I quite like this feeling of... I'm looking for my big red one, right? I'm fishing for the big red card. And And sometimes it's on slot 2, sometimes it's on slot 3, sometimes it's on slot 4. There. See, we got it on 3. Well, I'm going to put on Trickery. And let's see. Let's go... Sleight of Hand, maybe? Bountiful Theft is more stealing. Thrill of the Crime is more stealing. Initiative, stealing. Can we get anything else really fancy and cool out of theft and stealing? Acrobatics, maybe? So, improvisation. Use stolen skills twice. Reduce the cooldown of all equipped utility skills when you steal. So, use stolen skills twice. But it's not been given it to me. I'm just trying to lean fully into stealing as because that's sort of the spirit of the spec, isn't it? Like, summon Crypt's turret, but I only get 1 turret. Does improv not work? Cooldown effect will only trigger if all utility skill slots are filled. No, we don't care about that. Why am I not able to use my stolen skills twice? What am I missing, everybody? Toggle it off and back on. Is it bugged? Am I wrong? Do they not count as stolen skills? Improv means you get to use both. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, so the tooltip isn't really descriptive. Because normally you'd have to pick one, don't you? But I get to... I'm pressing all 3. We're getting battered here, guys. Let's put the black powder on. I'm not sure why we're getting them back. So here, I can keep going. I'm not picking one or the other. Okay, we should change that because it's like I'm not really playing the spec. I'm playing the spec in a very different way. I like that. That's very transformative. I credit that very highly. Fuck me. Scary ass Dominion soldiers. There we go. I do like that. Okay, so if I go to Executioner, for example, and I steal from this... well, I'm just going to hit one of these. No, I still have the shield as well. Or is that just a hangover from... No, that's not what improv does. I'm very confused. Oh, there you go. Sanctus says improv isn't working with the spec. You can use all 3 even without improv. Okay, so it's bugged. But that's not what improv even says. As far as I don't know whether the devs confirmed this or something. But to me, the text of improvisation would suggest I can spawn 2 hollow dancers. I can do 2 surfboard runs. I can throw 2 globs of magma or whatever that is. That's what that says to me. I should get ammo on all of these. Improv doesn't say you can use all of them because that's not... I mean, that might also be a good mechanic. I mean, actually, guys, when I hit... Oh, I think what's happening here is it's kind of super broken because I'm also running the trait that gives me an F4. And I think it's not accounting for that. I think that's what's broken about it. Like with improv off, when I hit F3, it is taking away F4. With improv on, it's letting me use all 3. See, watch this. Ready? Watch. I'm going to press F3 and I lose F4, right? Fuck's sake. If I had improv on, that wouldn't happen. So I think it is working, but that extra logic it needs to account for the fact I have 3 slots, not just 2, that's where it's kind of breaking at the moment. All right, I think that's just beta buggy jankiness. Do you know what, guys? There's been a couple of instances of stuff like... I'm going to be quite negative in a lot of this, and I do apologize. I'm just trying to be honest. When I see stuff like that, it's not... my mind doesn't go to like, oh, they're so incompetent, blah, 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 which is what I think some people will sneer over. No, just what worries me with that is like this cannot have been play tested internally. You know, I like to pick one of these up and think that someone has thought through all of these paths, they've implemented them because they're excited, they've thought of the different iterations, they played with the different iterations, they've seen how it works, and now they're putting it up to the community, right? Internal playing has happened, internal testing has happened, not to just a tiny extent, but to a good extent, and now they're opening the door, right? But they cannot have tested the efficacy of some of this if it fundamentally doesn't even work. Do you get what I mean? Like what worries me is it just feels like we're very early in the day with this, so then I sort of don't have that confidence, and I don't know, it's just a bit disappointing in some ways. But okay, I'll leave improv on. Shall we look at the traits? Negative Nancy, exactly, yeah. But I'll take on the name Wooden Debbie. We'll call ourselves Debbie, all right? Debbie Downer. Finally, someone honest about Antiquary. Well, I think a lot. I won't go into it, but I think there is a lot of dishonesty in this scene. All right. What else we got? How does it work normally? Does it add an ammo counter? What you mean? You mean if you're stealing on any other spec? It's like if we're a Deadeye and we run improv. Oh, yeah, we are on improv. So we have 2 ammo for steel health, and then we have another ammo for steel health, right? So I would expect the script relics to be the same. Which, by the way, is sick with mug. Think about all the mugging we're doing with that. The sustain from that is kind of cool. Like, this feels strong, right? I've always loved this trait. And the idea that you can go 2-2, 2-2, 2-2 with all of those is fun. I love the idea of that build. Because this doesn't have an ICD or anything. It's usually balanced by the fact that, you know, your steel cooldown. But, yeah. In fact, is Mug even work? Have I seen us actually doing damage with script? Oh, no, sorry. Well, yeah, no. I guess the script swipe is what's mugging. Oh, that's quite interesting. Hold on. No, we don't mug on the stolen skill. I was being an idiot. Sorry, you guys are going to have to forgive me a little bit. Some of these fucking things I haven't played for ages. And the brain rot settles in. Alright, okay. Back up to Antiquary. Let's see what we've got. So, grant yourself barrier when you use a healing or an elite skill. I don't like this trait. I don't see what that has to do with anything. Magpie's defense. I mean, I kind of get... I get the theme that we're covering ourselves in golden trinkets and things. But it's not going to have a fun animation on it or anything. But, like, what's the idea mechanically here? I was thinking this a lot when I was watching Arenanet streams on these things. Like, they would mouse over these miners. And I would think to myself, is that building into the theme and the idea of the spec? Or did you just not know what to put there? So here, right, if I was looking at if this was POF and I was looking at Weaver and I was looking at Barrier added to some mechanics for me, I'd say, well, that makes sense because this is like a frontline bruisery brawlery spec in a lot of ways. That was baked in, whether it landed there or not, right? And there are many ways you can flex around, but that was like one of the through lines for that elite spec. So it kind of makes sense. Is that what this is? I guess maybe. I mean, a lot of the stolen skills have us wading into melee and stuff. I didn't hear them say that at any point. Gain initiative whenever you use an artifact. Sorry, I'm getting whispers in game. What we got here? Hi, saw your stream. I'm not logged in. I can't comment there, but I think the traits work as intended. Normally, you can use 1 stolen skill. The trait you looked at lets you use 2, and the first Antiquary lets you use the 3rd one. So you're saying improvisation just lets me use 2 full stop. I guess, yeah. Use stolen skills twice. I mean, the wording is a bit interesting. I see your perspective there. Maybe it is right. Maybe it is. Anyway, okay. So then initiative whenever you use an artifact. So we just don't think about these basically. And I'm not opposed to minors like that, by the way. I feel like elite specs are complex enough. If you just... These are just little gimmies that you don't have to actively consider too much. I mean, fine. Right, so the top line. Let's just run through the top line here. We've got card swap. Redraw any artifacts you currently have in your skill slots. Gain access to reshuffle. We will remove conditions from ourselves whenever we reshuffle. Or whenever we use an artifact skill. So there's cleanse here. Right, PvEers aren't going to care about that unless reshuffle's really good. Okay, look, and also the thing I've already been very outspoken about this. This is dodgy. The whole idea of this spec is dodgy. Like, it could work out. Guild Wars is not a game that has ever embraced RNG within its combat system. Not really. There are small bits. Usually shit gets ironed out. Usually everything's normalized and homogenized. I don't know whether this community or this studio or whatever is going to be particularly satisfied if we end up in a world where, you know, the Antiquary can hit 40k in a 10-man scenario if he gets the right RNG. Otherwise, he might go as low as 34 or something. Like, I don't know. But can I just say, for me personally, I don't mind that. Like, when I've been raiding in FF14 or doing trials in FF14 and stuff, there is quite a lot of variance, like on whether you crit. Like, if I use my... Oh, fuck, what's it called? You know, like on Monk, you're building to the fucking mega hit, right? And whether that crits or not is kind of a big deal. And there is that variance, and I kind of like that. That takes a lot of stress off of me when it comes to, like, logs and comparing with other people, because that variance is kind of like a safety net almost. It's actually a very good thing. I think it's a very suited thing for Guild Wars if it wants to lean more on the casual side of things or whatever, where you can say, oh, it's not always a skill issue. Sometimes there's RNG there, you know, a bit of peace of mind for people. So I'm actually not personally, I'm not necessarily opposed to a world like that. But Guild Wars does not live in that world, has never lived in that world, and I don't know whether people will accept it. They'll just be annoyed. So, like, when you look at a trait like this, sitting there grumpy because you have to keep reshuffling, right? Meanwhile, the other Antiquary in your subgroup is dicking you. So, I don't know. So fundamentally, some of these ideas are going to be iffy, I think. But we'll see. And some Conduit cleanse, obviously the PvEers won't care much about. Scoundrel's Luck. Gain Scoundrel's Luck when you use Script Swipe, letting you use double-edged skills on cooldown without triggering backfire. Okay, so we didn't actually look at the utilities yet. So we can steal. And then that gives us a free utility. The utilities are kind of interesting, by the way. I do think there's a lot of good ideas in here because they were changing. They are changing the status quo, right? Like the fact that these... So the way that these work is I can gamble with all of them. It's on cooldown of 49 seconds, but I can hit it... Oh, not the elite. Okay, not the elite. Is that true for the hill? It's on a cooldown of 9 seconds, but I can press it again anyway, even though it's on cooldown. And I can keep gambling, and the cooldown keeps getting longer. Oh, up until... Oh, it does stop at a certain point. Is that why I can't use the elite? Because the cooldown's too long? Oh, no, it's just because it's backfired. Hold on, if I get really lucky, can I sit here and push this to like a 700-second cooldown? If I get lucky enough. What's the backfire chance? 50%? Summon a script to fire a dwarven cannon at the target area. Damage and inflict condies. You may activate the skill while it's recharging with a chance for the skill to backfire. The chance of this skill backfiring lowers as the skill recharges, and the skill cannot backfire when the skill is completely recharged. Okay. So yeah, this was an interesting thing. I remember they showed this off. This is actually, you're avoiding your own AoE. Look, I have to say, Antiquary does have a lot of things. Like, if you properly get Guild Wars and you know the kind of things that they've done before, there's a lot of new and innovative stuff happening here, and it deserves credit for that. You can't be a Debbie about that. This is really interesting. It is really interesting that if this skill backfires, I have to walk out of it, otherwise I get clipped. You know, you might say, well, Hollow could injure itself. Fine, but still, I think that's a bit unfair, and that's splitting hairs. This is interesting. I do think that the telegraph should be different. I think Arenanet are really bad with their telegraph work, to be honest. I mean, people will generally recognize that as something to get out of. I have to ask, chat, do you know, right? If I'm in a party and I proc that, do they see that AoE? Do allies see that AoE? Because that would be awful. Something came out in EOD. Was it Spectre? I think Spectre had an... It's funny, it's Thief again. Didn't Spectre have an animation in EOD that looked like a hostile telegraph? Am I wrong about who was it? There was, but everyone could see it. So you were like constantly trying to dodge your own team's AoEs or getting confused when it was an enemy attacking you. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? No, I'm not asking if it hurts allies. I'm well aware it doesn't hurt allies. I just said out loud that it doesn't hurt allies. I'm asking if they see the telegraph. No, you can't say that the AoE doesn't hit allies so they don't see it, because sometimes you do see shit that doesn't matter and doesn't affect you. Lots of things don't hurt you, but you see them. And yeah, was it Spectre? There was something. Oh, was it a Necro thing? Shroud 5 on Spectre was this. Yeah, there you go. That's it. People are always running out of my Vindicator dodge, even though they don't get barrier from it. Oh, sorry, even though they do get barrier from it. Yeah, that kind of thing is what I'm talking about with the telegraphs. Anyway, this is awful. If that telegraphs to everyone else to escape, it's really bad. And look, if you're sitting there on your armchair, you will say, wow, just know not to. Trust me, in-game, it's not that simple. You do get conditioned to dodge these things. So hopefully only the Antiquary sees it. There was something similar with Downstate 5 at one point. That's true. The Signet of Agony. Well, remember Tit McBuster. That's an amazing name, by the way. Okay. Well, anyway. I was just curious. So we get some pressure. So then there's the portal. This was a really weird one. The risk on this is just mental. So you can't shadow step to a specific location. They were talking about this being like I mentioned this on stream. They talked about this being like useful as an escape, but it's not useful as an escape if you have to take a target. I don't care that you can target a wall in World vs. World. It's not useful. Even here, look, I'm out of range. On like Rev, if I use the Shiro leap, I can do it while I'm out of range. If I'm on Guardian and I judge his intervention, I can do it while I'm out of range. If I sword 2, I can do it while I'm out of range. If I'm an Ellie, I can Polaric leap while I'm out of range. Usually you can do these things out of range. This, I can't even use this for a bit of quick mobility. Look at this. And when I am in range, there's a chance it fucking... I mean, I could not imagine using this in any content where it matters. Look at that. Getting knocked over? I mean, if there's a way for me to give myself stab really reliably that doesn't have a significant opportunity cost, maybe. Maybe. But, you know, the fact that this has no cooldown should mean that you can spam it. It's like a judge's intervention. You can double, triple cast. That's really exciting. Imagine if you could take a target all the way over there and you could triple cast judge's intervention, right? Like, I can target that bear. Imagine if I could go boom, boom, boom. But if I get unlucky, I get knocked over. I'm like, that's cool. But they disabled it. You can't even do that. The one fun thing that this offers, you can't do. Not a fan. Canard coin toss. No, I loved the animation on this. This was like the best animation on this spec. Well, except maybe the elite. Look at that. How good is that? So we got heads, tails, tails there. Flip a number of coins. Gain effects depending on whether they land heads or tails. You may activate the skill while it is recharging, with a chance for the skill to backfire. The chance of the skill backfiring low is the skill... Blah, 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 blah. So if I get 3 heads... This is crazy. You have RNG on the mechanic, and you have the backfire mechanic. So sorry, if I get a heads, I get 2 initiative per heads. Is that right? Let's blow all of our initiative here. Oh my fucking god, it's going to take me forever. What's the quickest way? 4? Okay. So I'm pretty sure I saw my initiative come up there. So... We get initiative and we convert condies to boons. Tails gain initiative and just remove the condies. Okay, so it's very reliable. This is just a condi cleanse plus initiative. And it might be stronger sometimes than others. If it backfires, we flip cursed coins. And they're red. They have a red animation. That's so cool. Flip a number of cursed coins. We gain initiative and remove boons. Okay, I'm just going to be very honest with you all here. I'm not your guy for some of these skills. Look, a lot of actually what we've looked at here, condi quality of life is all over this spec. And that just does not matter for the formats I'm in at the moment. I'm not going to be roaming in world versus world on this, I can tell you that. You want to find someone doing this beta who's roaming in world versus world on this or playing competitive. Then you'll get a real sense of it. And I knew I was going to start having this issue with Guild Wars. Once I swore off of playing PvP, like, that's where most of the build craft is fun, and that's where you really learn the elite specs. The PvE only view on this stuff is not very good. And unfortunately, that's what I'm giving you here. Like, this is the kind of skill you have to play with it. You have to do a bunch of 1v1s. You have to see how reliable it is. You have to see how good it... You know, like Mercy on Deadeye. You can't just read the tooltip for Mercy and figure out whether it's really nice. You have to play it and then get a sense, oh shit, I do like it, you know? Similar thing with the Canard coin toss. For our purposes today, does this really have much to offer PvE players? No. I mean, maybe that someone will invent a golem rotation where you use this to refresh your initiative. Because let's see, the god roll on this is 6 initiative, right? It's not even that much. It's not even that much. And all the cleansing and stuff does not matter. Alright, emergency Jade Shield is... Well, the fact it's not a stun break either. This one's a stun break. The emergency Jade Shield. Let's have a look at it. Ugh. Come on. Not pleasant. Look, I just want to make a point to you all. Alright. I've got to do this. I want to justify a little bit why I'm a bit of a Debbie. Okay. I want to show you where your expectations should be, okay? Where should we go? Where's... I don't know. Fuck it, let's go somewhere in POF. We haven't seen a desert-y region. I always love the Temple of Cormyr. Okay, POF, right? The elite spec. I put Hollow. If you saw my tier list, I put Hollow as really, really strong. Have I got a Hollow template somewhere? I might not even have a Hollow template on at the moment, which is amazing. Yeah, I actually don't have a Hollow template on at the moment. I mostly played Hollow in other specs, right? When you look at Hollow, right, and you look at like... so there's a shield, right? The photon wall. I'm going to build a bit of heat here. Okay. Look at the animations, right? I'm kind of half in the ground. And then you can fire them out. These animations are not like anything that was in Guild Wars before. They have really crisp sound effects. They got really nice visuals. Look at the fucking giant saber you get. Look at the slam. Even when we overheat, you had all the little things shattering and breaking. All the utility skills, right? If they're going to give you, like the photon wall or whatever, it all looks really fancy and it all looks different, looks new. They did such a good job with the art, right? The art is amazing. It ties into the theme perfectly. This is like what quality looks like, right? It feels new and fresh, okay? So just 2 seconds ago, let's go back to our Antiquary, all right? This is an elite specialization, ostensibly the same thing. Okay, so I've got not a hollow shield this time. I've got an emergency jade shield. Oh, the fucking animation didn't even play because of quick load. Hold on, because of fast load. We might backfire. It's just like a mess. It's like a goopy mess that you see on like the mechs. I know it's Jade, right? That's the idea. It's Jade tech. But we just see, that's just like a goopy mess you've seen on all the golems around End of Dragons. It's not anything. Do you guys get what I mean? Like, the elite's alright. That feels different and fun. I'll compliment the elite, and I love seeing all the F skills get shuffled. But you know, like, look at a lot of these. A lot of this is, I mean, it's in the nature of this spec to repurpose existing stuff from the game. So I'm not going to criticize it too hard for that. The Zephyrite crystal is going to look like a Zephyrite crystal. I get it. I don't feel like the quality is there. Do you know what I mean? And this isn't an Antiquary thing. This is just kind of how I feel about this gen. Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear that dinging? My phone disconnecting there. So yeah. And that's it, by the way. We've looked at all of them now. You got the TP that doesn't really work as a TP. You've got cleanse and initiative. You have a gun you fire. I mean, look at this. That's like a Charzuka animation. I'm pretty sure that's like a Charzuka. I mean, it's kind of cool having a little script that bugs on the despawn. Oh god, I'm being too much of a Debbie, aren't I? Not a fan, sorry. Look, we are deliberately starting with the ones that I'm not too much of a fan of. Okay, so, right, double edges. Gain Scoundrel's Luck when we script swipe, so we can definitely not get a backfire. So what I can do is what can I double up? I can fire the Stone Summit Cannon. It's on cooldown. We can steal, and we can use the cannon again, and there's no risk. And then we can use the cannon again, in theory, and there is a risk. So we can kind of, and then finally we backfire there. So this basically gives us a risk-free way of double casting. Shuffling is weird, guys. I don't know how I feel about shuffling. What does my shield do? Stun break, summons a shield, gives me barrier. If it backfires, deal damage to yourself equal to a percentage of your base health, as well as damaging enemies around you. I think the backfires are reasonably well designed. I remember on the stream when this was being shown off, a lot of people were saying, oh, but the backfires aren't backfires, so how does it count? I sort of get it. It's not nice. It's not going to be good to get CC'd. It's not going to be good to chunk your health. Like, when you stun break. Like, this is a... If someone just fucking balls rushes me and I eat it, right? And I'm on the floor in front of them. I'm low. I don't want to chunk my health lower while standing there. But that's what's going to happen with that backfire. So it's a pretty risky... I mean, I think I would take any Core Thief stun break over that. Do you want to stun break with a little bit of barrier, or do you want to, like, stun break directly into an evade or some shit, you know? Like... But the fact you might be able to do it regularly, it could be fun. 15-second cooldown. Again, everything I just said there is not PvE-minded at all. Okay, and then Scrit Shuffle. Summon a Scrit Assistant at your location that grants you artifacts every interval as long as you're in range. The Scrit has a random chance of giving you an unstable Scrit bomb instead of a regular artifact. Attempting to use the bomb results in a backfire. I love this mechanic. So we're trying to dodge the bombs, right? What game is that? It's like a Flash game. Or, you know, like one of those games that tests, you know, your cognition or whatever. It's like when you read the word red, but it's written in yellow, and you're supposed to say the name of the color, not the name of the text. So you have to say yellow, or that kind of thing. I don't know. I need something to hit that won't die really quickly. Drizzlewood might not have been the best choice here. Do you know what would have been a good choice? Some kind of Scrit stronghold. Maybe Dry Top. The level 80 area in Dry Top. Let's go over there. Funny enough, it's actually the Scrit... Here, I've got a trivia question for you all right now. Now, if you've been in game, if you've done the weekly jumping puzzle this week, you don't qualify. You're not allowed to answer, all right? Because you're cheating. My question to you guys is this. What is the name of the jumping puzzle in the Silver Wastes? You might have caught my video on it back during Season 2. Me and Matt played it together. We took a break halfway and did another video on like relationship drama or something on Reddit. It was good fun. What is that called? What is that jumping puzzle called? Because I saw it come up on the weekly this week and I realized I had completely forgotten what it was called. Oh, Banjo's got it right. Yeah, the retrospective run around. I was like, what the fuck is that? Also, oh weird, why do I have this done on the beta character? I didn't think I'd have that. Yeah, it's called Retrospective Runaround. Jesus Christ, I did not remember the name of that. And I realized for years I've just been calling it the Silver Waste puzzle. Right, okay, so we're gonna scritch shuffle. We're gonna use the 2. And it took us out of the radius of the thing. We're gonna use the 3. So oh, there's the bomb. Okay, and we hit it. And there's another bomb. Okay, this elite. Whoa. Jesus, why did he get hit by like multiple packets there? Use mug to resustain a little bit there. Okay, if you don't scritch shuffle directly on top of your target, a lot of these are movement abilities, so they're taking you out of the shuffle. That doesn't feel very good. So I'd say up the radius, but that visual is going to look nuts on a bigger radius. Should we try it again? What does it... I want to just watch the turret here, by the way. God. Just some really weak little pew-pew. What I want to see in the traits is some more like procs and things. I don't know. It's a shame they never designed an elite that could work normally with the backfire mechanic. I love the idea of an initiative feeling elite, you know, like where we can fuck with the cooldown. Okay. That's Prodigious Pincher. You pilfer after using a certain amount of initiative. This trait will overwrite any existing artifacts when triggered. So that's why I'm getting some more sometimes. So if I just hit the Planesworm. Fuck it, I'm gonna headshot. I'm gonna spam. Okay, there you go. We got some stuff coming. That feels somewhat unreliable. I can see why it's Grandmaster, though. Because if you are draining your initiative quick... Oh, I actually kind of really like this. Because then as we use the stolen ability, the artifacts, it's giving us more back. Like here, I'm not using any weapon skills. I'm headshotting things to death because it's giving me stolen abilities. We can use Canuck coins to get some more initiative back. Oh, guys, I don't know how I feel about this series, because the reality is I want to play this now. I've got to actually play. More coins. More coins. I'm risking a backfire for that. Obviously, we can... So we want something that spends a lot of initiative. There's a certain point, right, where you get enough initiative generation to keep the stolen shit coming in. It's interesting. It's an interesting playstyle. I kind of like that Grandmaster. It didn't look impressive until I played with it. I kind of like that. Hey, Nav YT, thanks so much for becoming a channel sponsor. Thank you. Oh, hey, Boots. Oh, guys, if you're following me on Blue Sky, you'll know I retweeted it already or reposted. Boots did a video, a 3-hour video this week, which is every single one of his adventures. He's done like over 100 now, all of his best times. Just back to back to back to back to back. I know I'm asking for a lot, Boots, but it would have been really cool to have some super casual, like, retrospective commentary from you on that. Just like watching the footage, being like, oh, I vaguely remember that. That was 6 years ago, wasn't it? Or whatever. Yeah, I clicked through it, and some of the beetle races he was doing on that were insane. Like one of the last adventures on the reel is the Winter's Day run around Divinity's Reach, and the beetle is just so good, and it is the beetle track in the Halloween event as well was just really crazy, very high skill. Okay, split deck. When you pilfer, you're guaranteed to get one offensive and one defensive artifact. Are they always in the same slot? This is my question. So F2 was offensive that time. Oh, and does that count whenever I generate it through the Grandmaster as well? Trying to spend enough initiative to reproc the thing. Okay, F. I guess the guitar is offensive. By the way, we haven't really looked at this. Break stuns and dash, because that's a stun break and a movement. It's got a lot of pressure on it too. Well, not a lot, a bit. So I guess F2 is always your damage. So actually, I kind of like split deck. I think these are really cool traits. Again, I have to applaud Antiquary for doing weird shit, for being experimental. I do have to applaud that. That one's a PB AoE, so we need to get in range. You know what? Split deck's actually quite good for learning the spec. Because now I know, without mousing over tooltips and a bunch of playtime, I know, okay, that green one is a damage one. Right? I know this pinky purple one is a damage one. That Surfer Dash is going to be interesting for PvE if it relates to hitboxes. Some more coins. Okay. Again, that looks underwhelming as just a trait, but actually that felt alright. Your artifacts have increased effectiveness. Oh, that's so good. Oh, nice. Okay, I definitely want that instead of the double edge. So the stun lasts longer, the damage is higher, the confusion is higher. Good tooltip work here. The damage is higher, the Conduit damage is higher. The shield duration is longer, the healing is higher. You get more packets from the Cryptis turret, or maybe actually no, that might just be the damage is higher. The Taunt isn't affected here, but the Hollow Dancer gets a higher radius. That might mean it looks bigger too. The Sun Crystal just does a bit more burning. That's interesting they didn't up the distance. You know, if Druid Staff 3 can be a thing. Metal Legion guitar. Okay, and we're back to the guitar. I mean, that there shows again as how few it feels like there are. Oh, okay, and I have to be in range for that. Let's throw the Hollow Dancer up. See the improved Dancer. It doesn't have a radius ring on it, but maybe only the enemy sees that. I don't know. By the way, the spec feels a bit stronger and nicer right now because I'm in an early game shit where everything just melts or would be melting. If we took this back up to those Titans in the Sulphurous area, I promise we'd be getting bodied right now. That one's really weird. We really do have to cast through them. That was an okay damage component at the end of the Zephyrite thing there. Okay, so they're just stronger. There's not much for us to learn there. Artifacts grant barrier and boons when used. Offensive and defensive artifacts gain different boons. But this time I can't scroll. Oh, no, sorry. Offensive ones give resistance. Defensive ones always give stab. Again, very brawlery, right? Very, And so now we lose the free steals. We're reliant now on script swiping. We don't get them any other way, so it's only every 15 seconds. Like, look there. Did I just do 20k from a single unload on that worm? That worm clearly doesn't have normal defensive stats. I was here to hit the script, really, in the little script palace. But the door's shut, obviously. It's only at the end of the sandstorm it does stuff. But these maps look good, man. I still always love these maps. Okay. So then the bottom line. Gain an additional artifact slot. You can use one more artifact each time you pilfer. Oh, so that's why with improvisation... I see. So that gives me +1, and improvisation gives me +1. So with them both, I can get all 3. And with all 3 here, I should get... This should be a high barrier build here, then. Sort of. Gain increased damage for a period of time after using an artifact. Oh god, very boring. I think I'll increase their... See, and there's an interesting conflict here. If you're trying to do pressure... I mean, a 15% modifier is huge. People are just going to run that, right? But for open world, I kind of actually like this. If there's enough quality of life coming from the increased radius and stuff like that, but I don't know. And the additional stun, break bar damage and stuff. No, I'm keeping it on. And then finally, combat high. Gain combat high when you use crit swipe. Yeah, getting high using using that crit snatch. Gain combat high when you use crit swipe. Increasing your outgoing strike and condition damage. Lose stacks of high every interval. Wow, that's such a huge number. Plus 30% modifier per stack. So I get 10 stacks. So I need to... Shit, I didn't swap the fucking thing. This is whenever I swipe. It's not whenever I use a... Oh god. I'm getting out of here. I want to break combat. It's not whenever I use a relic. So what I really want to do is get this cooldown as low as possible. But the thing is, right... Wasn't there a Grandmaster Miner that reduced steel cooldown? Am I insane? Any thieves out there? Isn't there a miner trait that reduces my steel cooldown somewhere? Oh, there you go. It's sleight of hand. I've already got it as low as possible because I'm on sleight of hand. It was sleight of hand I was thinking of. I thought it was on a miner. Maybe that got shuffled at some point. I can't remember anymore. So we want to steal. So we've got 10% modifier right now, right? It's ticking off. 8, 7, 6. Every second it goes down. So wait, how do I juggle this higher? How do I get this to 30? I'm missing something on this last thing. There has to be a mechanic that allows me to steal regularly enough to get the combat high really high. You can always go to the Hydra Pit in the Oasis. I did that on the last stream, Boots, actually. I did that on the last stream. Leo's Lab says, I also thought that 8 artifacts were too small, but in practice I could learn them all really quickly. Alacrity says, yeah, that would help a bit. I guess technically you only need to get over a certain threshold, and then as long as every time you press it, you're gaining a bit more. And by the way, I think one thing that Guild Wars is missing is the idea of steady, slow ramp. Like something where you're slowly building the modifier over the course of an entire boss fight or whatever. I like that idea. Guild Wars doesn't play with that at all. They've never really embraced that. You know, you can to a certain extent say, well, you know, Conduit builds have ramp, but usually, you know, that fully manifests within X seconds, you know. But the idea that you're slowly creeping up and up and up, but if you go down state, you've lost it all or whatever. Oh, I see. 10 stacks is the 30% modifier immediately. Okay, I gotcha. So these two traits is just, hey, gain plus 45% damage. I don't know. They're kind of... It's kind of like, we can't fill these two slots. Let's just put nuts modifiers on there. 45% modifier in 2 slots. That's it. But these other things are more fun. I think for open world, this is the way I'd like to play it. With Prolific Plunderer. Maybe Possessive Hoarder. Maybe. Oh god, we're going to go to the Gauntlet now. Alright, what do you guys think in terms of weapon? I guess I could just throw PP up. See, there is a problem with this, guys. Really, I want like 24 hours with this now. Like, you've just seen me get to know the basics. That's it. To be honest, actually, I like split deck. Is that weird? I like split deck. Maybe it's just because I'm a noob with it for now. But it's nice and natural to be able to hit F1 and then F2 and just sort of know... For ramping, what about Elemental Empowerment with Catalyst? How long does that take to ramp up? Not that long, right? I've never felt that that was like... I mean, there's obviously the one trait that leans into it really heavily, which I admit I don't actually play that much. Like, ostensibly, there's loads of... You're exactly right. In theory, there are a lot of mechanics like that in the game, but the way that they're always tuned, what I'm saying is they're never tuned in such... It's kind of like the Sigil of Bloodlust, you know? They never lent into things like the Sigil of Bloodlust. You know, it's like might stacking. There's loads of things like that, but the way that they've always handled the balance and pushed the game is it's not like... You know, we don't live in a world in Guild Wars where you do a 10-minute raid fight and you expect to be at 5 might in the first minute and 15 might on the 4th minute and 25 might after 6 minutes, right? I actually really like the idea of stuff like that, like where you're slowly building and building. I think that's a really fun idea, you know, and as the fight progresses, you're seeing your numbers are going up and shit. And you know, like that fantasy of being a might giver where you're in kind of what feels like more a permanent way, stacking something onto someone and getting stronger. Like, I love all that shit. Arenanet doesn't. They've never done anything like that. You were trying sword with a pistol with Antiquary? Maybe not viable? I'm sure everything's viable, really. I mean, look, as far as we're talking about story, open world, champ solos, there's going to be a lot that's viable. Yeah, Bolt to the Heart, Executioner, traits like that mean you do more damage later in the encounter, but that's the result of what I'm talking about, not what I actually mean. Okay, shall we go to the Gauntlet? This is going to be rough. I'm going to throw... I might try the barrier build. We'll just keep pistols. We won't even weapon swap. This is pretty dire, guys. But look, at the end of the day, we've just done an hour and a half on this spec already. Just getting to grips with it. My train in Fractals is the opposite of that realm of Earthship. Kinda, yeah. Alright, let's go on up. This obviously doesn't matter. We're on the beta shard, but I'm just doing that to get them off screen. Go DP so you can dump initiative and have easy access to stuff. I've got to be honest, one of the reasons I don't really play much Thief in like normal gameplay is I don't really like stealthing against AI. Something about it just feels slow and stally and unsatisfactory to me, you know? Right, we do want a relic. Christ, is there any fun relic for this? With any kind of synergy? I wonder if there is something, you know, like on the Elite or something somewhere. Like something that procs on Elite. No, I don't know. I'm going to go Zakiros. And then I'm going to go... so the question is, do we want Prodigious Pincher? Or do we want to spam Resistance? See, that's weird as well, by the way. Resistance on the offensive things. And Barrier. It's not that much Barrier. Also, I don't want this heal. If we're going pistols, I'm going to take the Signet. Also, do we definitely want Thrill of the Crime? I'll tell you what. We will take... Rage. We will take Celerity. I'm not going to use the Inquest Portal device. I'll take Haste. It's another stun break. Should we use the Emergency Jade Shield? Oh god, I'm realizing here I don't want to use any of these fucking utilities. I think Smoke Screen will be really cool, actually, against certain fights. And like, do we want to use the Stone Summit Cannon? I got to use buttons from the class. Okay, so we'll do that. Oh, I also have to buy tickets. That's a good point, yeah. Wait, was that Jones that just messed me? It was. Hello, Jones. Okay. Okay, I'm going to throw up another poll. How would the poll work, though? Oh, shit, I didn't see. What was the second result? One of them was 32% and the other was 30. I didn't see what the result was. How many do I want? Okay, I'm going to poll you guys, and I'm going to say... where do we get? Not even to Liadri. Die to Liadri. Die in T4. Die to Churai. There's no way I'm being Churai on this. There's no way. This is not going to happen. Okay, it was Antiquary at 37, Conduit at 32, and Troubadour at 30. Oh, you guys are real ones. Yes, because I have a Conduit on the account right now, and I've played it a little bit, so I can talk about Conduit. Excellent, very good. Conduit was second at 32. Yeah, a Shadow Step might be... Exactly, I want to put a Shadow Step there, but... The problem with Haste is I don't ever really use Haste as an actual stun break. I use it for the quickness at the very start. Okay, here we go, guys. Did you give me a food box, Arenanet? Okay, you gave me star cakes. Thank you. Oh, no. Oh, my fuck. Okay. Alright, we'll take the truffle steak. Dude, why are there no sharpening stones? Oh, there they are. Oh. No, I'll take sweet and spicy. Okay, ready, everybody? I reserve the right to... Oh, shit. Hold on. Did I actually pick Halmy? I did. I reserve the right to tweak this as it goes along. Alright? Okay, immediately I'm thinking we got no damage. There's the fucking hammer swing. She was actually going to use it there. Okay, we need more damage. Do we drop Trickery? I think we drop Trickery. Let's go back to crit strikes. Let's take no quarter. We could do deadly aim if I'm on pistols, I guess. And I think, honestly, Assassin's Fury as well, just to pump the might up. Okay. Dubruche. Someone's loading in. Okay, someone's fighting Halmy there. Not a beta player. Yeah, it's weird. I see loads of beta players up at the Sulphurous Hot Springs, but not here. Obviously, we're going in with this. I've got to use the buttons too, so I'll crit shuffle this one, I guess. Crit strikes, healing from crits. Yeah, ordinarily I would think that, but here in here, holy! I fucking hit the signet immediately, which was extremely stupid. Stay with the script. Yeah, the whole backpedaling thing, and I just immediately walk out of the elite. But I can't stand next to Dubrouche, so... ordinarily, I'd say yes, but this is very one-shotty in here. So, I don't know. I feel like this is the better path to success. Which means that the arenas are not the best test for a build that would actually work that fun in the open world, but, you know. So here, we can just blind spam her. Instead of just spamming unload, I'm trying to use... the buttons. Alright. Cereal. I'm looking at chat, by the way. Any other advice you guys have, you're welcome to give it. Maybe I will use it as a stun break. Fuck it. And then I'll just open with like a headshot so that we get a proc. Well, mind you... Oh no, but we don't have sleight of hand anymore. Okay, so we step in. I'm going to unload to sustain. I don't need to break that stun. So there you go, that's tier 1 done. Tier 2, Tire Rage more. That guy getting killed by Deadeye, Delia, Dunwell or whatever. I'm trying to pay attention to if they have break bars or not. Because if they have break bars, the blinds won't help. I'm hoping Smokescreen will keep me safe from her. Honestly, that was quite cool. Okay, you guys might not have been able to see it there, but we had quite a nice taunt on him there. He wasn't really able to do anything. I love that. Seeing all the script are still there when the next fight's going on. Ty is such a weak... I honestly have no idea what Ty does. Ty just dies. He's never hit me. He's never anything. You've convinced me split deck is great for learning the spec. I think so. I'm not saying it's like the best choice once you do know the spec, but for now, like it's really nice to be able to instinctively hit a 3, not really know what the 3 is doing immediately, but sort of have a sense that it might be in some way useful. So there we had the big hammer. Oh, I think I'm actually going to do the mechanic on this one. Do I get more vulnerable as this mechanic goes along? I will say this, okay? The Antiquary spec from yesterday was way better than this. No, the Luminary spec was way better than this. Okay, Salazan. Salazan, this could be death here. We could die. Salazan's pretty scary. This guy's going Liadri. This might take a bit. So, I don't actually know if you can block the fireballs. They might be unblockable. I'm pretty sure they've been going through, like, blocks on other things. So, I don't know whether this projectile deflect is going to work or not. Okay, it doesn't work. Look, they're just floating towards me. Okay, this is not even Antiquary. That was me just spamming unload. With a lot of this stuff, alright? With a lot of this is fun. But the reality is, if I just took 45% damage on demand, what's my playstyle? Go in, press F1, spam, unload. Like that fight there would have just ended. It would probably have been the better choice. Okay, the pirate crew Ravenous. I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm going to stand in the middle. I'm curious on like the AoE capacity, capabilities of this thing. So let's see. So there's some kind of big explosion there. Just threw some early quickness up there. That bubble was quite nice. We used the bubble to great effectiveness there. I don't know. Subject 7. This could be weird. We're going straight in. The other guy's left. No brake bar again. That's very good. Let's hit the elite. Just trying to keep quickness up as much as I can during this elite so we can actually cast the skills. Oh wow, that one was interesting. Okay, Deadeye done well. This is also a little bit scary. All this movement might throw me into one of the mines. And meanwhile, I've got to kill her before the thing ends. She's going to TP. I feel fairly confident she's going to get away. Oh, that was really interesting. She TP'd but not to the edge. And then she just ran back in. Was that because my smoke screen was up? See, that would all be well and good if smoke screen wasn't a core thief thing. If smoke screen was coming from the Antiquary. Okay, Struger and Chomper. We're getting very close to Liadri now. I'm not going to sunbreak that. Try and do another one. I do feel some resustain, I have to say. Some of these things feel pretty good. Let's use our damaging ability. The trait is good here, by the way. Well, again, it's not Antiquary. Let's dodge that. Let's get a feel for this a little bit. Let's move around a bit. Let's use the elite. Do you see what I mean? I don't know how much I believe in the arena. It would probably be better to do bounties, honestly. Alright, here we go. So then we got Liadri. I'm using Wayfinder for Liadri. Can we kill the Rift? We can use the 3 because it's a defensive. Yeah, that's cool. We did a thing. We can drop black powders down. I believe we can drop black powders down so that when they pop, they don't kill us. Want to sustain a bit more here. As long as they're blind. Try and resustain with another. Oh, fuck me. I was looking for that rift. I just want to say, I effectively just lost this. The reality is... Okay, let them all be blind. Okay, they're blind. I can pick it up. And now we kill her. Unlike with the Luminary that I was playing before, I actually have range now, so... Oh god, do you know what? I really don't like these movement skills moving me, and I don't know quite where they're going to move. I was spamming it. I was Oh, what? To be honest, I could have TP'd away and threw a bunch of autos. If you looked, I was spamming the fuck out of dodge, but it was just underneath enough for the dodge. And I think I was crippled. And does weakness still reduce endurance generation? Is that why it wasn't coming up? I really felt like I was going to get it. Yeah, well, there you go. Let's try that again. So I'm not doing these as actual like video sections now. So basically, there you go, guys. We died to Liadji, which was the top result. 35%. It's really annoying. I don't think I used the elite at any point. What? Let's try Liadji again here then. Less talking. And to be fair, I should have died that last run. The only reason I didn't was I got lucky that the rift didn't pull me into a thing. But really, you should expect that these things do that. Oh, do you know what? I think rather than Wayfinder, I should just run Swiftness. Just get Swiftness or something. Oh my god, that fucking thing spawned right on top of me. Okay, we killed the second rift this time. See? Oh! It fucking just charged me in! I just immediately... I really thought it was going to be something ranged. I tapped F2, and it just rushed me in. Yeah, look, this is the other thing with it. This is going to be skill issue. I honestly... I can't, in an hour, learn all the icons or the buttons. A part of me wants to just, like, spend the week on one spec and then come to you guys with something real about it, you know, like canvassing everything is... I mean, it'll be easier on some classes. In fact, Conduit, which we're about to do, you guys voted on. See, can I don't think I needed that dodge. Conduit, I think I have way less to talk about than this. Totally not even standing in the right place here. Please pop all of them. That's alright. I assume... I don't know. Are they all blind? Didn't matter in the end. I actually want them to pop, though. Okay. I did it again. Oh, I was evading at least. There I went with F3, which was the Zephyr... Fucking hell. Oh, we got the rally. No, we're dead. Wait. Yeah, we are dead. Oh. This is just a dead skill. What can I use that is one of the new utilities that isn't a dead skill? Canarch Coin Toss? Cleanse the cripple and the weakness? Get some initiative back? Let's try that. Let's try Canarch Coin Toss. We'll see whether that works. Yeah, I'm not a well-trained Scriptomancer yet. Exactly, yeah. Just going to dodge this. Just to prove to myself it is possible. After getting screwed out of endurance via weakness multiple times. Mug to resustain. The other thing is, I have very, very low utility weapons here. You look at like the Guardian shit I had on the last part. Oh, God, that's so annoying. Alright, pop on me. Pop on me. Okay, good. Okay, really good. See, you want to kill him, because now it's like way less stressful. There we go. We saved our endurance that time as well. So we can dodge that. She was dead! But I died. What? I didn't even see that. That felt so easy and so clean and so not a problem. And then all of a sudden, the last second, I had no idea. That clone just... Whoop. Oh my God. We have to do it again. I don't even think I cast Canarch coins there, did I? I really don't think I did. There we go. It was just like a little fuck you from the world there. Because we don't get enough of those. There we go. Obviously the meta is to disable post-processing effects so that shit doesn't keep happening. The thing is I don't trust the black powder. Oh, they're too close. This is really annoying. Okay, I got them both. What? Oh my god! Liadri killed me with fucking whip 2 or sword. What is that move? Jesus Christ! Liadri, the Concealing Dark, critically hits you for 17,516 damage with Savage Leap. Since when did Liadri hit like a truck? What? This is why I should be demo, not Marauder, by the way. Oh my god! Look, I can't spend the endurance on that dodge though. Come on, give me the kill so we can assess a new spec. Okay, that's one. That's unbelievable. I've never seen that. Or if I have, it was years ago. Look, guys, I've successfully made Liadri look like a big, difficult challenge again. I've reversed the power creep of the years. Right. Placing that. Oh, God. Let that one pop as well. Okay. Look at this. This is not complicated. All right. This script dance. Let's use the hollow script. The spam script skills. Save me, script skills. Holy fuck, she did it again. She did it again. And I'm dead. I'm dead. We get the rally. We get the dodge. All right. It's not a clean kill, but it is a kill. I can't believe it. Right, that's a shit build, okay? I've just made a shit build. There's no good crowd controls. There's no good, like, on demand, right? There's no weakness. There's no proc. There's minimal barrier. I just made a shit Antiquary build, okay? I should have tried possessive. I mean, even with a barrier, I don't know. We didn't do much damage. Don't play it how I just played it. We used revealed training and didn't even stealth ourselves. All right, don't do what I just did. Don't do what Johnny Don't does. Okay? Whatever that Simpsons joke is. That was awful. Ignore me. Opinion invalid. I could have used coin toss earlier. Yeah, I guess. Maybe the heal would have been really good. Because it is a cleanse. And we can double cast it, right? Can you do it with a 45% damage boost? It won't feel that different. I'll give you one run on the boost so that you can feel it. That traits like that are really fun and you'll really feel it in team scenarios like fractals and stuff. Raids. But they kind of, you know, traits like that are kind of, I kind of don't like them in a lot of ways because the interesting procs, interesting animations, interesting stuff kind of doesn't get picked. So that instead, you just get a modifier, right? It's like a more naked way of playing it. So they never really appeal to me. If it's a pressure modifier with something else. Okay, this is good. She's got weakness on me as well, right? So save me, script. It's not another orb, is there? Oh, no, the cripple! All right, there you go. We got it with the pressure. This was supposed to improve all of my artifacts. but the 15% damage probably just feels better. This was supposed to give me free artifacts as I spent initiative. But I guess when you're competing animation time here versus weapon skills, you may as well take this. So yeah, there you go, guys. Right, that's Antiquary. That's the Antiquary section of the stream. Right, I'm looking over at chat. What do we think, everybody? Let's have a little bit of a cool down, a little bit of a wind down here. What do we all think? And what I'll probably do is reflect on my experience today. Talk about it on the next one as well. So there's the... Luminary is in the lead after all. Luminary is... Oh, do you know what we should do? Look, I hate to put this work onto you, but anyone in chat, okay? Count my deaths or something? I don't know. So Luminary, what do? I died to Liadri because it was a skill issue. I can't remember what. Did I press the wrong spear animation or something? But it was fine. I could probably go back and spank Liadri on my Luminary right now. The Luminary build was way stronger. But it might be interesting at the end to have some stats and be like, okay, here was his worst build because he died X times. Big fan of Antiquary. Look, I made an okay build on Antiquary because it's Guardian. And there's so much cracked, like in terms of the weapon skills and stuff. Like, I wasn't even weapon swapping on that thief there, right? You get a lot of really strong, really premium utility skills. Antiquary had a couple of those. I don't think I used the Radiant Shroud much against the Adri. Anyway, okay, so look, here's what here's my opinion of the Antiquary. I don't like the theme. I think it tramples on the idea of what could have been a really good Mesmer Elite spec. I think it's half a gambler and half a weird script thing. I think the animations suck. I think even if the animations were good, they'd have to try really hard to make me invested in the idea of throwing a script around. I wish there was actually a script with me and it was a full pet mechanic. I think that would have been much more captivating, having an actual script pet, just like how Mechanist got an actual mech. What I will credit it for is the traits are transformative. The utility skills are fresh in terms of what they're trying to do with the backfire thing. Like Luminary, they're all called stances, but they don't feel like stances. They're not great, right? So I will credit Antiquary for doing things with the engine. But I don't think they're good ideas of what they're doing with the engine. So, yeah. There's a lot of down points to that. To be honest, right now... Okay, in my original tier list, I put Luminary below Antiquary. I think I'm going to swap that. They're both dead last. They're both... Look, guys. Bear with me, alright? We're doing the rubbish ones first. Bear with Debbie here. Debbie wants your patience, okay? Debbie would like you to hang in there. Because there will be fun ones coming up. For now, though, we're at the bottom of the barrel. And let's continue with that quest at the bottom of the barrel. You guys did just vote for it, thank God. The Conduit. We're moving on to the Conduiting. Look how sick his armor looks, by the way. That's one of the very rare, like, good-looking, high detail. Like, the materials look good and everything on that. I love that. And yes, it's an outfit. The rat roulette goes to the bottom. Rat roulette, that's great. Look, it's fun. It's a game. Antiquary feels... Yeah, I mean, look, everything I say is within the context of we're having fun playing an MMO, right? I'm not breaking rocks and bitch... You know, they're not real problems. I'm just saying, there's 27 elite specs now. And I think you would do better with the other 25. Play any of the other 25. Especially on Thief. Come on, man. Look how transformative and cool Daredevil is. I know it's old and boring to people now. Spectre, like, they come with big, fancy, new, high-impact ideas. The Conduit is just Revenant Plus's timeline. Well, yeah, I do have some thoughts on this. Any other thoughts, guys, on Antiquary before I move on? Any other ideas? Hater Tater gets the good ones later. Oh, man. That's like a rap. Oh, yeah, Nav says, why not use Scorpion Wire? Yeah, Scorpion Wire would have been really good for Liadri. 100%. Scorpion Wire would be excellent. That would have been a good choice. But the thing is, right, Nav, if you had pointed out Scorpion Wire to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, Scorpion Wire, I wouldn't have been running any Antiquary skills. I would have been using the Elite and then immediately strafing out of the Elite. Right? This would be Scorpion Wire. That's obviously the better way to do it. Obviously, Scorpion Wire is epic. And we would have done a Scrit Scuffle, and then it would have been, oh, you got to walk away now because there's a clone or something coming at you. Yeah. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't read that. Maybe. Antiquary, Arenanet, it's not too late to change the spec icon. Yeah, I think some of the icons could do with a bit of a change. It's not too high priority of an issue for me. I do think it's a bit unfortunate, but yeah. You think it sucks it relies on core thief mechanics, but you really, really enjoyed the spec. Yeah, I think there's something in it. When I was running around Dry Top, and we had that thing where it was constantly throwing new stolen abilities at us, and we could kind of spam them, I think that was interesting. There's something there. Maybe with the right tuning and calibration, the right complementary lines. You know, if I wasn't sitting down for 40 minutes on that idea, but I was sitting down for, you know, a whole day, maybe you could come out at the end of the day with something on that. To be honest, I don't know if Boots is still around, but he could probably do some good Boots bad builds with this. This feels like a very good class for Boots bad builds. Okay, let's move on to the Conduit. Conduiting. Jesus, 2 hours on that. I'll tell you now, guys, there's going to be about an hour on this. To apologise. So, this is Razza. Is Razza going to be in Guild Wars 2? I think it is, my son. Look at this. It's Razza, everybody. We could put him in the Richest outfit. No. Wait, is there like a Razza outfit? There is a Ritualist outfit, but why do I feel like there was a Razza thing? I don't know. Right, so we're Razza, everybody. Now, I have two templates set up already. I have Conduit and I have Power. You could do a heal thing with this as well. My comment to you all before, when we watched the original stream, was that this legend looked too low impact. There's no decent upkeep on it. There's, I'm not talking about F2 right now. You know, there's nothing fun to, like, channel and feel badass while you're doing it, like Impossible Odds. Like spinning the hammers. Like throwing the chains out that taunt. You know, like remember Heartthorn's coming out, throwing those chains at the Wyverns as you try to break their break bars and pull them out of the sky. Or like throwing the fucking giant road down. Jarlis is a great example to me of like a high impact. It's a legend with high impact buttons, right? Look at that fucking wall, yeah. And it really is a strong effect. It's like fucking stab for your Zerg. Or like, and the forced engagement, I don't know, has always felt a little bit weak, but at least it's like, it feels big in a way. You know, the hammers feel good to channel. The Elite, oh yeah, make everybody tanky and shit, and it's loads of energy. Like, this is a legend filled with abilities, with buttons. Legendary Entity Stance is like 4 wet noodles and 1 a little bit dry noodle to me. So I played this for maybe 20 minutes, by the way, not much. So, but this is my first impression. So they're all Guild Wars 1. This is the thing, right? For this class, I really didn't feel like it was doing anything that fun or different. And it kept throwing Guild Wars 1 skill names at me, and it made me feel a bit weird. Like, oh, man. You know, people accuse the story writers and stuff of like, oh, they're just trying to cash in on Guild Wars 1 nostalgia. Well, I didn't play Guild Wars 1, so I don't care. You know that, like, sentiment? Which I've always thought is unfair. I kind of feel a bit of that with this guy. Shielding Hands? Dude, I love that monk skill. Except it doesn't look like a monk skill. Channel energy that heals you with every pulse. While channeling, you take reduced strike and condition damage. So that bit where channeling, we take reduced damage is a bit shielding handsy. And it's minus 75%. And there is an animation there, you'll see. There were 2 hands that spun. And they're like orange, because his theme is orange, I guess. I don't know why. I feel like the channel is too short for me to really sit and enjoy. I mean, it says like 4 pulses there. If this felt like ether renewal, but I'm tanky while I'm in the ether, so to speak, I think that would be cool. It's a very subtle animation, but I have to credit that that doesn't look like anything I've seen in Guild Wars before. Have you guys ever seen a hand spin like that? Like the visual, that thing? The thing is, right, we kind of have had buttons that feel a bit like this on other classes. Doesn't Willbender heal? Isn't Willbender's heal like a mini full counter, right? Anyway. So then there's the resonance thing. So if I had Ventari, which is easy enough to swap on. If I have Ventari, I heal other allies while I'm doing it. And I continue reducing damage even after it finishes. So the hands keep spinning there, you see. So there's something with... Okay, I think resonance is... From what I can see right now, resonance is fundamentally not a good idea for a mechanic. I think there's a lot of that going on this wave. I'm so critical. I feel horrible for being so critical for so much of this. But I think they're bad ideas. I think this is a bad idea, Arenanet. So, like, it's only on the build where I'm choosing to use Ventari, which, let's face it, is only in group scenarios, that I'll ever get, like, the extra proc from this. If there was a thing where I could potentially get any resonance, you know, as I'm playing, like, oh, I just procced Ventari, cool. And then in a few minutes, another random legend might appear. Oh, I just procced Shiro, nice, so I get a Shiro bonus. Or, you know, if resonance was something that was proccing and I had some control over it, maybe not too dissimilar to some of what we were seeing with the Antiquary, then I could kind of get behind it. But it feels like I'm never really going to run Ventari for most of my application of this. So, like, I'm just not going to see this resonance. It just doesn't apply. Right? When I do have Ventari, I feel like I'm going to want Jarlis on the other side. Not this stance. Like, it's too little. Do you get what I mean? Like, if it was something proc-based, like I just said, or if it was all of the buttons had a Ventari resonance, or a Shiro resonance, or a Malik's resonance, essentially if they were all like glyphs, then I could get into it. But they didn't do that. That's like a lot more work there. So I don't know this thing where just one of them improves. Like, these all feel like weak nothing skills that maybe get an improvement on one. So yeah, shielding hands. When I'm running around, when we're in the Gauntlet and stuff, can I shielding hands to survive a Liadri clone? I don't think so. So you're just kind of not going to see it. And there's something about that. It feels a bit too empty. Like, these aren't applicable enough. And my favourite solution to it is something along the lines of that proc thing I mentioned, right? Whereas we're playing... Maybe when you max Affinity, you proc a random other legend or something. You proc a random resonance. When you hit max Affinity... So that means every legend swap, you're going to get a random resonance will appear before you. And that might be nice. But even then, that's only like... you can only pay off on the resonances in Conduit. So maybe it should be something like when you max Affinity with Razza, you get a random resonance. Maybe that's a mechanic. I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, okay, so shielding hands feels like kind of an empty sort of heal to me. But okay, it's a heal. What more is there to say? Hexeater Vortex. So this is your Mesmer Resonance. I love that skill in the original. One of my favourite skill names they ever did. So Condi Cleanse. Fire projectiles that do a bit of torment. And if you cleanse loads, then you can get up to 6 projectiles. However, if you have Malik's on the other side, because Malik's is a Mesmer apparently, I mean, that is shoehorned in, I'm sorry. But if you have that, then you always get all the projectiles every time. Okay, so like if I just tap it. Oh. What do I need to do? Target a rat? Does it need to be PBAOE? There you go. Okay, it went to the fly. So we put 6 torment on him. And I can do it again. And it's a pretty low cooldown. So... So you might think, oh, 6 torment's pretty good, but it's kind of not actually. Like, let's go over to this reindeer here. So I have a Conduit set up. Right, if I use Axe 5, glorious button, nice big meat animation. I've got 5 torment, 3 energy. That's a weapon skill. Minimal energy. Just throwing Mace 3 out, he's up to 11 torment. Like, this doesn't feel... Maybe this one's like a tuning thing this time? Maybe? With Hex Eater Vortex? But it feels really low impact. And this is what I said. My original comment on this was that, like, they're all QOL buttons. So there's no like, it's too spread out. Like, I would want the Conduit Cleanse with the stun break, but no, we have it separate here. So, moving on. Gladiator's Defense. This is the warrior button. Wow. Except it's not a stance. It doesn't feel as fun as Gladiator's Defense did in the original. So this is your stun break. I'll put it on C because it's your stun break. And I always have stun break on C. Gain boons if you strike an... Okay, so you break out of stun and you punch everyone around you. If you hit someone, then you lose... if you hit someone, you get resolution and resistance. See, it's all QOL on really short cooldowns, right? Do you know what I mean? It's not like fun, impactful stuff on high cooldowns. And it's Revenant, right? So Revenant, the whole loop of the way that Revenant is... you would think Arenanet knows this, right? But like, you're going to go into a legend, you're going to hit some legend buttons, focus on your weapon skills, and swap out. That's the way that Revenant works, all right? You get a couple of buttons, and then you leave. You get a couple... So all this, like, reactive... low cooldown, minimal energy cost stuff. It doesn't work with the flow of the class. You just kind of get into Razza, don't really know. Okay, so like maybe I can Hex Eater Vortex at the beginning and the end of a Conduit set, right? Like maybe, and in terms of efficacy, that may be well what people end up doing. But I don't know whether it really fulfills a cool fantasy, right? Like. Let's shift the mindset for a second. You guys are listening to me on August 25th after it's been announced it's Razza, and you know that we're in this little box where Razza has to be sort of dipping into other professions and stuff. Ignore all that shit. Pretend it's not Razza. Just go back to the drawing board. It could be any legend. Any badass fighter or interesting character from Guild Wars' past or history. And all the big fun, high impact, special animation sort of stuff that they could do. The way they fight, right? And instead we get kind of this, it's like another identityless jack of all trades thing they've picked, right? You would think, I would personally, right? I know that Razza is a malleable primary profession character, but he was a RIT for a long time. If you told me, if it was 2 years ago, and you told me, hey WP, there's gonna be an expansion where elite specs come in, the Necro is getting Rich List, and Rev is getting Razza, right? If you told me that, I would be imagining Razza as using lots of kind of like RIT themed things that maybe like cross over a bit with what the Necro was getting, but because they built all these fun animations and they had different ideas for them. But so like, so to me, right, this is a meh skill, a meh skill, a meh skill, sorry, Gladiator's Defense is a meh skill. So the resonance is if you have Jarlis with you. So ordinarily, if you break a stun with this, it's more expensive. I like that dynamic behavior, by the way. But so if you have Jarlis, it doesn't cost more to break the stun. And you give allies resolution and resistance. And again, this is the thing, right? What have I said over and over? Arenanet are showing me these new elite specs, this new wave. And it's like I've got a bunch of toys but nowhere to apply them. Because the game itself, the design of open world, of the kind of content they have out here, I don't care about resistance and resolution. And I'm speaking from a mindset of like 90% of players here, right? Okay, so there I Gladiator's defensed for the proc, then got knocked down. Like this is... Do you guys get what I'm coming at? I'm showing you guys the enhanced versions of these. The resonance for this shit should be this throws taunting chains out or something, right? It should have Jarlis stuff. This should cast Lesser Rite of the Great Dwarf, right? Which was on a trait. Might still be on a trait. It should do a free Rite of the Great Dwarf or something, right? The resonance for the Malik skill should be throwing me into demon stance, right? Like the full-on, you know, Call of Anguish or whatever. The resonances should be big. The Ventari resonance should, like, summon the tablet and explode the tablet or something. Am I crazy? I mean, this is a scenario where I would buy into them reusing animations, right? I should feel like Ventari is tagging in. Ventari's icon should come up. We should have some big Ventari shit happening here. Not some little ticky-tacky tooltip-worthy tweaks, right? So I'm afraid to say, I mentioned this when we watched the stream originally. It's exactly how it feels. I don't like entity stance. Sorry, we've skipped a button. So then there's Beguiling Haze. Again, these are all... And there's something about seeing these old skill names, but weird icons that, like, I can't even really make out what these fucking icons are. I really can't. I mean, that's Jarlis, I think. That's Jarlis's face. Is that a centaur? It's like the artist that did these had absolutely no context for how they'd be really applied. I think Beguiling Haze was like a hand originally, and I think that is a hand. Anyway, send an unblockable fragment of Razor towards a target. Except it's not towards... Oh! I thought it was ground targeted. Oh, no, okay. Oh, no, it's when its resonance is ground target. Towards a target. If the fragment reaches it, Shadow Step. Dealing damage and dazing. If you use it, if it hits, you can do it up to 2 more times with no energy or cast time. So Beguiling Haze is probably... There it missed, so we're fucked. And the resonance makes it AoE and you can ground target it, right? So I quite like this, but the daze isn't... The daze goes away on the later hits, as far as I can make out. Sorry, this is a bit weird. We're playing Conduit with 2 very unfitting legends. So, like, okay, I'm a Rev, right? When it comes to mobility for me as a Rev, let's wait for this weakness to come off. And I'm sorry to be so critical. I don't think this is hysterical criticism, though. I think what I'm saying is quite fair here. I'm a Rev, right? And I'm using Shiro because I want the resonance or whatever. If I'm looking for quick ports, either in combat or out, I'm already spoiled for choice for these. Okay. So, like, there's an Iboga over there, right? So, I can already do some good leaps. Chaining a third one, maybe, is kind of fun. But there's a weird delay on it as well as you watch the shadow jump. Which didn't feel... meant it didn't feel particularly snappy to me. This resonance, it is an upgrade. Obviously, it's an upgrade. Especially in competitive, it makes it way more usable. So there's your triple cast Beguiling Haze there. Like, that's quite cool. This is the best of them. But frankly, it's a port. That's about it, right? Like... So here, if I just tap... so I need a target... No, I don't need a target. So you want to tag someone with it, and then you can, like, bounce away or whatever. This will probably be quite fun. So now I, like, bunny hop away. I can triple cast it there. So, but Beguiling Haze is not bad. I feel like the impact, like when you land, the impact is not that good. Again, put like a mini Impossible Odds on me afterwards. Do like a mini Jade Wind. Give me these shards, right? These shards. Give me some enchanted dagger shards or something, right? For the resonance. I think the resonances are really weak, basically. I think they could have drawn from the initial legends, done a bit more. All right, and then finally you got the elite. This one I'm not, so I'm kind of blind here because I don't really know. So obviously this is a huge tooltip that the, if you look at the bottom, the art on the tooltip backing does not fill the whole thing up. I think this needs the right-click treatment where you right-click through the resonances instead of listing them all like this. If I was playing at 720p, how would this tooltip even fit on screen? Darren, sorry, I'm looking at chat here. Darren says every elite spec gets utility skills. This whole elite spec is an F2 that gives you a stat boost. Well, no, it gives you utility skills. That's unfair. That's not a real criticism. These are utility skills right here. You get Legend. How is that different to Herald? Herald's brilliant. Herald is very similar to this. And ultimately, all Herald does is give you an F2. And in fact, that's one of my criticisms of this, by the way, that it feels so similar to Herald. Anyway, so the elite. Twin Moon Sweep. Big Dervish skill from the original. I have that on my Dervish. In fact, check out my playthrough of Guild Wars 1 Nightfall. You'll see Matt Greenspring, the Dervish Extraordinaire, casting Twin Moon Sweep on various enemies. So what does Twin Moon Sweep do in this one? Well, let's see, shall we? Let's try and kill some shit here. Guys, I think I prefer this segment right now to the Antiquary. I think I need to get in game and fuck with them first, and then just give you a recap of how I feel about them. I think this is working better. I had a lot of people say they'd like to see me squinting. Anyway, okay. Spawn a fragment of Razor at your target location. At your targeted location. That's weird. That's like they've combined the terminology, right? Usually it's at your location or at the targeted location, but there they've written both. Anyway, both you and the fragment attack with a scythe. You attack and inflict conditions on foes, and you gain might. So we always get might. The Conduit changes. It says number of targets per scythe. So 2 scythes? Let me have a look at this. So I can cast it 900 away? That looks like. Yeah, 600. It's only 600. See, that is too subtle. That's a little orange Razor. Like, in terms of, like, animation work, for the elite, that animation right there, that is what I would expect from Hex Eater Vortex. And look, that's the thing. These are just recolored special effects that we've seen before. I think Razor should be bigger. I think the radius should be bigger. So basically, I strike an area and he strikes an area. So if I go into melee, we both strike an area. Like this... This doesn't feel like an elite. There you go. Now, you can see I've immobilized it for a brief period of time. So we broke the break bar with Beguiling Gaze. That was quite fun. I liked that. That was cool. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to hit the elite. So the resonance here. Okay, again, right. Right, my examples of the resonance just now, right? What have I said? I've said lesser right of the Great Dwarf, or, you know, spinning the hammers, or I've talked about a lesser Jade Wind. I've talked about, you know, summoning the tablet and stuff. You might be thinking to yourself, okay, fair enough, WP, that sounds all right. but those are like big effects. Maybe that should be the resonance for the elite, because the resonance does get the elite does get a resonance for everyone. So technically you enhance 2 things, I guess, right? So you might say, okay, that might be the thing for the elite. That's not what they did with the elite. So just think, if you guys are watching this stream from a position of ignorance right now, you've got no idea what this does. What do you think they do? What's a cool thing? It's the elite of an elite specialization legend. Something high impact, right? Something transformative. Something substantial. When I press this button when I'm with Shiro, it's very different to when I press this button when I'm with Ventari. Whatever. It's the elite. It should be really defining. This is where the energy and the effort should go. This is where I want to see new shit like Prime Light Beam or whatever, right? This is the big fun one. I want to see this thing working like a glyph, like an Ellie glyph, right? Big different animation depending on what Glyph of Storms you cast or whatever. So what do? They change the Conduit it applies. Or the boon. The difference is Immob versus Bleed versus Confuse. Or a heal. Do you get what I mean? It's like tool-tippy. It's like there's no quality here. It's like it's very half-baked. This is why, and I'm trying not to labor the point. I'm just trying to emphasize why it feels like the Heart of Thorns and the POF elite specs hit a bar that the new ones do not hit, right? Like, I'm sure many of you guys have already made your purchasing decision, so I don't know what practically I'm giving you here. But I think honestly this is underwhelming. This is bad for the elite, right? You know, someone will sit there and say, oh, but the Immob is really strong, or oh, but there'll be a balance patch where they up the damage, or oh, they're going to put more. Efficacy doesn't matter to me. This is just ugh. What is this animation? This little spin? It looks like the start of... I mean, people on the stream were complaining it's Gravedigger because he's spinning, right? But even the little suck thing, is that like a forged suck? Like, they're all very... These are like... It's like the visual space that this is in. It's like it was going to be a forged legend to me. Balthazar is a legend, but then they got cold feet. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate that they've given it its own color or whatever. I don't know why the icons aren't orange when all the skill animations are orange. But we'll try to get past that. You know, and it's not like they had to create resonance for Carla. And it's not like they had to create resonance for Glint. It's not like they had to create resonance for St. Victor or Archimedes. It's only the core ones. So, you know, I don't think the bar was that high. And can I just put a pin in it? It's another really great idea. Okay, so what if this whole resonance thing where it's bouncing off of your other legends, what if it's not that? Just talking purely from thematics, right? So, and like the idea of the class. Wouldn't it be fucking sick if it was Glint that had a resonance on here? Like I can cast one of these abilities and get a Glint proc? Or St. Victor did show up, right? So it's like a multi-elite spec. Because you got to remember, last year we already did 2 legends at once. We already have the multi-legend idea. But the thing is, so do you want to wield... Have you ever wanted to wield Glint and Carla at the same time? Raza kind of lets you do that. You know, you get Chaotic Unleash and you get this, or mini versions of them or whatever. Like, thematically, I think that's more exciting. Like, if you're going to do this thing where Raza can touch the other legends in the mists or communicate with them, then let's go for that, you know? So, like, I think there's multiple points where, like... You can think about this spec for like 20 minutes and think, do you know what? This isn't designed as fun as it could have been. It's the same as like the Antiquary. The Luminary is the same. The thematics are just weak thematics. Okay, there you go. I'm not going to rant too much. So there you go. That's the... He says 20 minutes later. That's the Conduit form skills. Sorry, what's it called? Entity stance. Let's talk about the F2. So I was playing this. To be honest, I don't really understand it that well. I think basically what happens, right, is... well, I need to know what traits we're on at the moment. Okay. So I'm just going to keep it nice and basic here, alright? Okay. So you see this tiny little bar? I don't think the UI is very good on this. You have to mouse over it, really, to get the mechanic here. It's called Affinity. Can you see that? So what that is our connection with the legend. And I think this is a fun idea. I think this is a good mechanic. There's nothing wrong with this about the Conduit, okay? So, like I said, I've been playing so much Monster Hunter lately. Affinity in that game is crit chance, which is just so terribly named. Anyway, by default, it's whenever you use a legend skill, that costs energy, by the way, so not like a toggle. Even though they technically do cost energy, but we'll ignore that. So, so I've got 3 bars right now, right? So, because I'm on Conduit. So when I stun break there, it went to 4 bars, see? And now I'm going to TP to him, and it goes to 5 bars, okay? So now I have max affinity. All right? So by default, right, now that I have max affinity, so we have the F2. F2 is where we're going to spend the affinity. So by default, this has a 20-second cooldown, and it only lasts. The tooltip's not very good here. I don't know how long it lasts. I guess we have to mouse over this. So it's going to last 5 seconds because I have 5 affinity. So watch this. Ready? I'm going to press F2, and now look at my affinity. Oh no, the affinity isn't even draining. Wait, what the fuck happened? See, I don't understand this. Invoke the powers of the dervish, gaining bonus attributes. When you strike an enemy, a magical scythe will spin. We should get form of the dervish from pressing F2. There it is. There's form of the dervish. Oh, and it disappeared when I pressed... What? I used Chilling Isolation, weapon skill 2, and it disappeared. Let's try and do it out of combat, I guess. I felt like this was buggy last time, but it might be a trait or something. I'll hold my tongue. Form of the dervish. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it's lasting that long because we have all of this affinity. When I legend swap, the affinity will go away, and we need to rebuild it with Shiro now. We need to build. If I don't rebuild it, if I just press it on its own, see, it only lasts a couple of seconds. And it's gone. So the idea is you go into a legend, you use some buttons, and then your finale, it's like a finale button, right? It's like you build up. So again, the flow of rev is not going to change with this because they didn't change legend swapping. They didn't change the energy mechanic. There's nothing really transformative about the spec here. So it's going to be, you're always going to be dipping legend every 7 to 9 seconds or whatever it is, right? That's just how it's going to be. So you're going to go into Shiro. You're going to try and use some Shiro skills, right? Get as much affinity as you can. I got barely any there out of him. I got 2. And there you have it. Then we hit our F2 and we get our buff. See, if that was like a big skill that did something, I think it'd be cool. But they are basically just buffs. So Shiro's affinity gives you... You know, it puts these condis on enemies, cripple, weakness, vuln. It gives you power and ferocity and a little daze. It's just like Herald. Herald has an F2 that you tap in exactly the same way that changes its ability based on the legend you're on. So Shiro on Herald is its like Boon Rip, right? Damage and Boon Rip. And it can hit through walls and stuff, which is fucking broken and means Heralds kill you sometimes through walls on Skyhammer. I'm not salty. That spec's so good on Skyhammer because you can port through the walls and shit as well. So basically, I don't know why it's turning off. Can anyone in chat help me out here? This is awkward, isn't it? I'm sitting here speaking with authority about something I don't even fucking understand. So there it's on, but it's disappearing. Why is it disappearing as soon as I attack something? Is it bugged? Why is my buff going away? Very strange. I don't know. We'll look at the traits in a second. So Conduit gives you Dervish, which is like all attributes, and it spins this scythe. So here, you can build affinity with Rouser quickly, because all of his skills are really little, and just like don't do anything. They don't cost much energy. So I got full affinity with Rouser there. I'm not seeing the spinning scythe or the passive, because the thing's turning off. So I don't know. But I actually like this mechanic. It's kind of Herald-like, but I like this idea. I think the idea that you go into a legend, you build something up, and then you get a big response before leaving That's fun. There's a flow to that. That's fundamentally brilliant. That really would work. They've done it in kind of a boring way where it's just like attribute buffs and stuff. But the core concept is really good for Affinity. So I like that. Let's look at chat. How do you build 5 Affinity on Shiro? Well, exactly. Shiro's really hard to build Affinity on because he's got lots of high energy, high impact skills. Impossible Odds doesn't count for building Affinity. So you've got to like... And I have to be in combat. I can't build Affinity out of combat, which might be a bit of a mistake. I don't know. From the devs there. So if I like there, right, I phase traversaled in. But because I wasn't in combat when I started the phase traversal, I didn't get any Affinity from it. Now I'll get some Affinity from it the second time, but it's a lot of energy. Jade Winds is a lot of energy. The heal is not much. So now we have 3 Affinity. Riposting Shadows. So it is hard. It is hard on Shiro. You would be lingering in the legend far more than is reasonable. But hold on, because there are ways of getting more energy on this spec. So Arenanet might have you covered. So don't worry. There are ways of getting more energy, obviously. And Invocation has one too. I don't know why the effect is not really doing the passive. We're getting the active out of it. We're getting the days and the... And there's an interesting kind of campy idea here as well, which is like when you're at max Affinity, you can spam the F2 in theory, right? Like that's an idea, but that's not supported by any traits or anything. Kind of like Evoker style. You know, Evoker has this thing, camp in 1 attunement. We'll see how that plays. There could be a camp in a Legends type thing, but Arenanet didn't really push it, so I'm not sure I'm too impressed with it, really. But yeah, so... Okay, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm looking at chat here again. You was hoping F2 would work more like Tempest overloads, but for Legends? Yes, nice one. Kebra Horash, yeah. Look, you guys have got some good chat, some good comments coming in chat. Yes, exactly. And that's a similar thing. Tempest goes into an attunement, not a Legend. It goes into an attunement, sticks in there for a while, builds affinity, if you will, with that attunement, and then can overload with a big fancy special thing. Overload Earth, overload War. They're all look at the animations, right? Look at the big channels that do big things. That's what I would want from the pressing the F2. The core idea is good, but then they've fallen down by not really creating a button for it, right? So, yeah, excellent example there. Excellent comparison, sorry. I agree with you fully on that. So that's all the mechanics. So let's run in here now, shall we? So this is just a power setup I have, right, where I gave my guy, you know... Oh, wow. I didn't actually assign stats. That's hilarious. We've been killing shit as well. That's wild. Did I not assign? We'll put Marauder on again. Marauder is not needed here. Or demo at the best. For PvE. Feel a lot better in Shiro on demo as well. See the sustaining element. Yeah, by the way, weapons. I just got a sword, and I put a great sword on the other side. I want to like great sword, so I don't know. I love Rev. I really do love Rev. It's a cool class. It's just none of the elite specs since Herald have appealed. Okay, so let's run through the traits, shall we? Gain access to Cosmic Wisdom. That's the F2. And to Rouser's Stance. The effect of your Cosmic Wisdom will change depending on what legend you use. So you're going to get Affinity while you use skills, which will increase its duration. So, Assassin gets power and ferocity with a daze. And some good... The debuffs are... I mean, weakness and cripple. Very short durations. Do the Conduit durations go up with Affinity? Is that also what's happening? Oh, yeah, I don't know. So, let's see. Is that where they... No, they don't. Oh, yeah! That's the other thing. Okay. So I was quite excited about this from the stream because I was looking at it and I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of good stuff. Read it very carefully here, guys. Inflict a random debilitating condition. So there, I just hit Cosmic Wisdom on that guy and all it did was like weakness. So you don't even get all 3. It's as you're striking, they have a chance to come in as long as it wasn't bugged or getting removed from me for some reason. So, so it's not like you snap those on the target or whatever. So, and that'll become more important in a minute when we get... Well, I'll just talk about it now. when we get to the Mesmer Cosmic Wisdom, the Malik's one, invoke the power of the Mesmer, gaining bonus condition damage and expertise instead, and that's what my other build has. And so I looked at that tooltip and I thought, oh my god, nice. On proc, bleeding, torment, confusion, that's amazing. But it's one or the other, right? Now, it's a half-second interval, so it's not as cracked as I thought it was going to be. So one thing I do want to compliment about this spec, I think the idea of the spinning size as you attack is cool. You know, that's like some ARPG shit to me. Like, it's really fun. I like the idea of seeing these spinning size running around all over the place and like applying this extra pressure. But I don't know. I'm not seeing the sides really in action. But anyway, so what's the difference between Shiro and Malik's? Is it a big overload flashy thing? No, it's just the scythes inflicting a different Conduit. If you have Ventari, it's I heal whenever I strike an enemy. This is one of those ones where it's like we just have to see it in action. That does not give me benevolence, by the way. Oh, it gives me healing power, raw. Sorry, it gives me raw healing power and health. The daze is always there. If you're with Jarlis, you get prot, resistance, or resolution. I would have liked a little bit of barrier generation on that, to be honest. So, and that's it. Oh, sorry, no. And then there's Razza, which is everything, but no Condis at all. You don't get Condis on Razza. It just increases your and maybe Razza's scythes are really good. I would love to see that. If Razza's scythes are really good, let's build some affinity. What, like with the flat damage? See, the flip overs of Beguiling Haze as well are not affinity generators. Okay, we have max affinity. So I'm going to hit F2. Now, for the next X seconds, we should summon scythes as we strike. But it's not doing it. So it could be a trait. You want Binding of Ipos so bad. On another note, you did not like Gale Shot. Wow, that's two segues right there. Non sequiturs right there. Okay, so let's look at the traits. Gain attributes based on your legend. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's a minor. I don't really care. You do get a lot of attributes, by the way. Like, clearly, there's attributes fucking everywhere here, so... gain boons when you use Cosmic Wisdom, and that changes based on what you had. So it's Stab, or Prot, or Might. And again, you'll notice that, like, this is just like Herald. And here's another thing, right? I'm not excited about random boons in Guild Wars anymore. I'm just not, like, they're not... It's kind of like what we were talking about, ramping Might, or when we used to talk about how regen could stack... stack intensity, right, rather than duration, stuff like that. Like, there are fun ways to do boons, but I don't know, Stab is obviously the strongest one there. A random bit of Fury for Razza. Ugh. I mean, we're not hard up for Fury on this class, we're really not. But okay, so there you go. So the top line, gain affinity when using a weapon skill that costs energy. So this is quite cool. This means we get affinity now, not just from the legend, we get affinity from weapon skills. So remember how hard I just said it was to get affinity for Shiro? Well, it's not really, if you run this trait. So we can port in, and look how quickly I get my affinity. Look at that shit, with max affinity immediately. So this is like, this trait is nice, I like that, it's transformative, it changes the mechanic in a cool way. And as far as I can make out in actual practice, what this means is you don't have to think about affinity anymore. Because you're going to use 3 weapon skills. It's going to happen, right? Or you can give yourself no QOL at all for building affinity. And instead, it's a Condi cleanse when you hit max, and a Condi cleanse when you press F2 to spend it. So you get, like, sustain QOL, but you actually have to play into the mechanic. It doesn't stack that hard, and it doesn't stack that easy. But you get condition cleanse. For regular PvE, obviously we don't care about that. See how often it's just cleanse, and it's like, well, we don't care. And finally here, expanded consciousness. This is what you were looking at me on just now. increases the maximum affinity by +2. So you can have 5, so this shit lasts longer. Now I'm wondering, I'm going to go to the weapon skill one. And I'm going to go press F2 over on this beast and see if it bugs. No, it still gets removed. Why does it get auto-removed on my first skill use? Well, anyway, so you get 3 choices on this band. I criticize the devs on the way that they handled their streams going like this. But to be fair, it's very useful here because, you know, these all change your affinity mechanic, right? Do you want affinity to cleanse? Do you want to get it really easily? Or do you want to cap it really hard? I like this. This is good. This is exactly what I like to see the trait system doing. And again, the Antiquary was good for that as well. Next, Recurring Insight. When you swap legends, reduce the recharge of Cosmic Wisdom for every point you had. So I've been using that. So this cooldown is actually really high. 20 seconds. Pretty rough. We want to chunk that down, really. Because I want to press F2 every legend. I don't want to skip legends or skip phases. Do you know what I mean? I want to keep tapping it. And this is, I guess, helps you do that. So it went from 17 to 10 seconds there. So I mean, even there, we're still gonna have to skip it, aren't we? The thing is, this has a fun. So we're gonna hit it, and legend swap is down to 12. See, if you take that with the maximum affinity increase, if you have 5 affinity, hit F2 and swap legends, you should get it back again really quickly. But now you're being asked to build a lot of affinity, and this is where Raza being a bit spammier is kind of nice, I guess. Because if you have 5 and then you swap, let's go into the sulfurous area. Here. Oh, and I can't generate it with weapon skills anymore, obviously. Oh, I accidentally hit it, the F2 there. So I don't know, finding the right balance on these traits is quite fun, I think. It's quite interesting. Personally, I really like conducive armaments. That was quite fun. Look, if I can, because I just tagged and clipped that guy and killed that guy with Gladiator's defense. Without conducive armaments, it feels really hard to get the affinity. On Shiro, at least. So, so yeah, I'm going to stay up on that. What's the first Grandmaster? Okay, Mistfire. I like this. So let's go to our Conduit version. I like this. It's got the cool lore connection with modern stories. Well, Mistburn. I don't know. I guess it doesn't then, actually. Apply conditions to enemies when you disable them. Damage and daze enemies when you activate Cosmic Wisdom. And it's a lot of burn. That's a fucking sick hit. So if we can spam dazes or any kind of CCs, we get these big burning procs. I like it. It looks really strong. It feels a bit Diabolic Inferno-y as well. Yeah, I guess they changed it, actually. Wasn't that just on Legend Swap for a long time? And now it's whenever you swap in. But, yeah, it seems okay. I don't really know what it has to do with Raza or anything else. I mean, it's called Mistfire, so... The next Grandmaster is whenever you use Cosmic Wisdom, you get bonuses from both legends, twofold empowerment. So you get all the stats, all the attributes both times. And then the last, that's a good Grandmaster idea. And then the last Grandmaster is Perpetual Wisdom, which changes the F2 completely into an upkeep. So because you'll notice Raza doesn't have an upkeep. Oh, Malix. So I can now upkeep form of the Dervish. And we should hopefully actually see the sights now. Yeah, so now you can see the sights. See that, like... the orange. See, I'm just auto-attacking with mace here. And then when we go into Malik's, we're also still upkeeping it. See, and this is just like F2, right? From Herald. So the scythes now are actually, we get to see them. And I quite like the upkeep trait. But once it becomes an upkeep, I'm not sure what relation it has to Affinity. Do you guys know? Like, what does Affinity... Oh, yeah, no, I do remember. So it turns it into an upkeep, and now you're wondering, well, what does Affinity do? Well, now what Affinity is it gives you an energy boost when you legend swap. Sorry if this is a bit hard for everyone to follow. You know, trying to remember Affinity and legends and energy and all that shit. So basically, this becomes like an energy refund for you at this point. Which allows you to hit more legend skills and, you know, do more things. So, you know, when it comes to people sitting there on the golem and finding a rotation, maybe they'll, you know, I don't know which trait they'll end up landing on. I know a lot of people were speculating that all the extra energy you get from this... I'm just trying to get to 5 Affinity right now. So that you guys can see. Okay, ready? I'm at 5 Affinity. Watch my energy, right? I'm going to legend swap. We start at 75, okay? Just like when you're running that invocation trait. And in theory, you could do them both. So like Beguiling Haze is a daze, so it's doing a little bit of burning. Obviously we want to hit the elite sometimes. We want to heal. So this idea of being in Malik's and upkeeping this at the same time, I quite like. Because Malik's is pulsing a shit ton of Condis and, you know... so now with the scythes. So I think these two Grandmasters are interesting ideas. Lingering Determination. As long as you have a bit of affinity when you swap legendaries, you start with some affinity, you heal yourself, you get endurance. And then this increases the stat buffs that you get. So that's the whole class, really. So I think I prefer the Conduit variant right now. Like, look at this. Axe 5 is the big Torment Bomb already, but then also it's a pull. So then it's a Mistfire prop. So I quite like that. For the other traits I just took, like on the Conduit build, I've just got, you know, sustainy things. I've got Song of the Mist, so whenever we swap... Oh yeah, what does Song of the Mist do for Raza? Dragon, Renegade, Alliance, Assassin, Dwarf, Demon, Centaur. Oh, what? Did they not add one? Renegade? Alliance, Assassin, Dwarf, Demon, Centaur, Dragon. Oh, they didn't update Song of the Mist, so Raza doesn't give you anything. Is that right? Did they forget to do that? That's funny. They remember to do the script thing on Thieves Guild. So, you know, but here's the thing, right? I'm using largely the same weapons I have been for years. The question is this going to feel better than Herald in the open world? No, because there's no quickness. There's no free, easy quickness, spamming boons or anything like that. It's just not there. So I don't get that. Does Conduit stance feel better than using the facets? No, they feel more applicable and they have more for me. Fun, big flip overs. You know, what am I doing this all for, really, ultimately? I think it's a whiff, guys. I think it's a whiff. What I will do is... So, do we want to use Spear or Shortbow? I'm going to use Short... I did get a comment from Aleko in Discord the other day, who was running something very similar to this. And he liked the idea of Shortbow, so I'll go with Shortbow for you, Aleko, there. And we'll do a bit of rage and celerity here again. Hey? Oh. This UI could use some work. Alright. Rage, celerity, rage, celerity. So let's go over to the Gauntlet, shall we? And let's see what we got. And I'll look at chat before I fight. Upkeep skills should generate affinity. No, they specifically say they don't. You could run Celestial Razor and just camp on Razor. It is good. The thing is, there's a lot of very good Celestial builds on Rev already. Celestial Herald is monstrously good. Put the Gambits in on the Gauntlet. Well, yeah, okay, we'll see. For the earlier rounds, that will probably be quite good, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's okay, guys. Bear with me just for a little longer. Debbie is going away. Debbie's going in the corner soon. Oh, am I out fucking... Oh, wow. My beta account is now out of tokens. So we should sell... How do we recoup those? Shit. Oh, you're saying you know that the upkeeps don't generate it, but you think they should. I see what you're saying. You think that would be an improvement. Maybe, yeah. Sorry, let me respond to some people here. Katsim says, hi WP, I haven't played the game since the end of POF. Is it worth getting back into it via VOE, or would it be better to go back to the expansions chronologically? Definitely go back chronologically, because the new expansions are shorter in scope. So if you just play VOE, it's going to be over in the blink of an eye. But if you play EOD into Secrets of the Obscure, into Jamthier Wilds, into VOE, you're going to have a good time, I think, with that. You're going to have a lot to play. And there's going to be loads of new weapons to try, and there's going to be these new specs, and it will be really good. On aggregate, that's what I would do, yeah. Also, I think EOD is higher quality than the mini specs we've had so far. Right, so let's see here. Let me just think just for a minute. See, replenishing despair is interesting, by the way. Siphon health from enemies when you gain a dark aura, and siphoning health is reduced for every additional target. I like that, but I'm not really giving myself that many dark auras. I need to, like, leap. What I need to do is, I need to open this, and then leap. Oh, yeah, and there's the double flip over. They did some cool stuff, but I'll be out of energy really quickly. So, I don't know. We could just bump the tormenting damage. Oh, I'll keep it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take Affinity when I use a weapon skill. With Lingering Determination. So basically, I'm going to have max Affinity every time I Legend Swap, which means I will heal myself and get Endurance every time. And then for the... for this, I'm going to take Mistfire for the pressure and the daze and all that. And that's it. And we're on the Conduit build here. The power version is much the same. I think there are some fundamental issues with an idea of this as a jack of all trades spec, because like if it becomes too good at healing and stuff. Well, even then, so hold on. There's no boons anywhere. There's no if I combo this with Ventari, the elite spec isn't handling anything. So it really doesn't offer anything on that side. I thought I remembered from the preview streams that this had quick and a lack on it, but I think I'm thinking about the amalgam actually, aren't I? Alright, so we'll do Halmy. And then what? Master of Gambits. We could disable dodge rolling. Well, hold on. I'm just going to do the first couple of rounds without all of that first. So oh fuck! Oh no! We actually got hit by the hammer. Wow, hold on. What? Was I that slow? Was I that slow for how many? We did win, but we used Signet of Agony. Let's do that again. That does not count, guys. That does not count. All right, here we go. How are you, number 2 chatter? You haven't been in much of the time. I think chat's been moving a bit slow today. I don't know whether it's because I'm too focused or I've missed too many comments or what. You just came back from that same break a month back. EOD and the 2 mini expansions together with the same length of new stuff to do. Yeah, I do think the 2 mini X-Packs are equivalent to one of the older ones. They're probably more, actually. Honestly, I think they're probably more. Let me out. Alright, let's try that again. Conduit the worst confirmed, I know, right? So there, they were doing the hammer and I CC'd it, so... This is crazy Conduit damage. It is very... I love... Scorch Razor plus Mistfire is really cool. I like that. And Axe 5 plus Mistfire is really cool. Not that we're... Oh, you know, we are using that. See, the thing is, I don't really know about actually tapping F2 because it feels like it just disappears off of me really quickly, so... And you can legend swap and you'll stay in the previous form, by the way, which is quite nice. You have no idea why sometimes your number 1 chatter, maybe it remembers between streams? Or, well, I think people who donate or become a member and stuff like that get preference. Oh, I missed with Raza there. There you go, I'm in the Raza form. That's Dubrush. I'm actually going to open on shortbow 5. Oh, fuck. What? That didn't hit. Because I wanted the quickness. You see how quickly they're just getting destroyed? They're getting absolutely dominated here. Serial, the blazing light. We go in to protect ourselves. We draw here in. Oh my god, I fucking died to the sun. Wow, we're getting hit by mechanics here. Hold on, that's so weird. Why didn't she do the animation yet? Normally she does it straight away while you're in the initial dark patch. Well, we lost. We lost on Serial because she was fucking weird with her AI. It's over, guys. I should have noticed that. It's very hard to notice and look at mechanics when you're learning a new class. So it's like I didn't see the hammer getting charged up because I'm thinking about other things. That's amazing. All right, Conduit didn't make it very far. Yeah, maybe it's how many times you do those little hearts and things. I see here. I walked into it a bit early. Oh no, it's refreshing. Right, so go on. Let's do the leap, the flip over. Let's do Raza. Wow. That was quite satisfying, I have to say. I'm not sure I remember what he does on his elite from Alex. So the resonance is a bit of confusion. T2. Higher. Let me out. I'm just waiting for Tyre to kill me now. Tyre never does anything. We chained our CCs quite nicely there. He was just like knocked down and stunned and struggling the whole time. He couldn't actually, I don't think he really did anything. But one of these days, guys, Tyre will knock us out. Okay, Masticus. Oh, it feels... Oh my god, that interrupt was nice. Well done, Raza. Remember, this is the stupidly tanky boss. Right, that's the really tanky dog. That on Antiquary just now, we were forced to actually play the mechanic. If this just had a bit more quickness on it, I'd... You know, maybe... Alright, I'm not going to run in this time, so we'll see what a bit of range is like. I should probably... By the way, I am literally never pressing Hexeater Vortex right now. I'll try and focus on that. Because it's on theme to do Conduit damage, right? Then we've got the pirate ship. Here we go, Hexeater Vortex, there it is. Try and put them all together. God, I'm losing so much energy so quick. Oh no, they got me! Wow. Okay, we're pretty squishy here. I don't actually have the resustain and the sort of the wall that I thought I did. The problem is I know that if this was Herald, I could be doing all of this with a lot more boom coverage and stuff. Shall we swap to Celestial and see how that feels? Instead of just Viper. See how comfy this is. Oh yeah, I put Pearl skins on so that the legendary animations wouldn't crowd out whatever we're doing as much as possible. Don't think it really helps much, but you know. Right, so there you go. That was the pirate crew. They actually downed me. I haven't had that happen all year. Okay, subject 7. Clearly Antiquary is the better spec. So far, the best build that I've actually made that actually utilizes the new spec is Luminary. I mean, no, we are utilizing the spec here. We are. Yeah, Celestial, I barely felt the pressure drop there. But, obviously we've got way more health and all that stuff. Oh, I didn't do a poll to show how far we'd go. Ah, shit. There, you see how I got hit by that there? I'd love to shielding hands her snipe. That would be cool as fuck. Right, she took a while, but we didn't really start on short bow in the right way there. Struger and Chomper. This is a Mirage fighting Halmy. Flip over, Raza. TP over with Beguiling Haze. I actually have to say, over the course of this stream, I found I like the Raza abilities a bit better. Mostly because I'm getting some muscle memory for what they do, I think. Alright, we're at Liadri. Here we go. Let's see if we kill her. I really shouldn't go in this naked. Oh yeah, I have Fractal Relic. Really quick swiftness would be nice. So I'm actually going to swap to Rapid Flow. Here we go. Now Raza didn't have any projectile block or anything, as far as I remember. The leap. That is technically a pull, but I don't know whether I really trust it. I mean, that's actually pretty YOLO. I wonder. We could yank them. Should we try it? Oh no, but it's on the flip over now. So I'm just going to CC that last one. Alright, so here we go. She's up. Swap to Conduit stance. Mostly going to linger short bow here. There, you see the swiftness was really, 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 really good. Mobility is like king on that. Oh, there you go. So that's the Agi dead. So we can actually move on now. So there you go. Conduit made it easily. Well, okay, actually, no. Well, that's kind of weird. Conduit either failed at the start or was the first one that killed Liadri. What do we think, everybody? Right, Master of Lightning. I haven't fought these guys for ages now, so... Master of Lightning was kind of really high pressure for him already. Yeah, that. Oh, Shielding Hands might be fun on that. Okay, we get the big stun. Oh, God, he's doing it again. Oh, my God. I think what we needed to do was counter CC more than we did. If he jumps into me and spins, at that point I will use the skill 2. So that he doesn't just cleave us from downstate. I think that's it. I think we're dead. Let me stick with this, though, 1 second. T4. Let's see something here. Fight Manager, Special, Master of Lightning. Fuck off, you're interrupted! What the fuck? I mean, we could just camp. This is crazy. I've not experienced this once on my Catalyst. What is that charge up? I don't even know what some of these things are. See, that ring pulls you in. I didn't even know that ring pulls you in. We just about held on there. There's no resustain on this. What did this guy say? Oh, I didn't see it. I saw the bubble, but it didn't print. Palia the Errant. Does the Jade bot work in there? Yes, once. Once. So you can get one free revive. But obviously then it's on a long cooldown, so you gotta be careful with that after that. Yeah, sorry, catching up. What specs have I tried so far and thoughts on so far? Yeah, all three are the ones that I thought looked really weak. So, not weak from like an efficacy standpoint, but just I'm not excited about them. Really feel our damage drop there. Might be a good Shielding Hands. Honestly, these all went way smoother on Viper than on Celestial. But I've also somewhat nuked my mic generation. To get some swiftness, right? Which was only really needed for her. Alright, nearly last one here, guys. Last one for the day. Oh, this one's Wayne. Oof. Wayne might just kill me. I'm not sure there's much I can do about Wayne. I don't have projectile blocks. Even though we feel some abilities are lacking, it definitely has a better flow than Antiquary and Luminary, it seems. Yes! I mean, I could just hide. And dodge that Greatsword 3. This is a pretty cowardly way to play, though. Let's jump in. Oh, he's doing it. No! No! Oh, we made it. Just. I don't want to be cowardly and run into the back. Okay, Surreal. She just throws the spirit weapons up. I can't foresee too much of an issue with her. She's invulnerable at the start, so we can't really do anything. Just got to watch where she goes. This might be fun. We can use Razor to TP to them. This could actually be really cool. Ready? Bit slow. I hope that fucking thing dies to those conduits. Okay, she got 2 bows up. I never see her get 2 bows up on my other builds. Shielding hands for whatever. I'll tell you what, Beguiling Haze is pretty good. It's a very easy way to like just throw away a quick stun. Oh shit, speaking of stun, she's got a break bar. I've never seen her here, so I don't know what this is. I think I'm dead. I don't have the energy for any more CCs. Is she just gonna nuke me? I think I'm about to get booked. Okay, we're right. Wow, that was very forgiving. That was a very long time they gave me there. I'm not really feeling the energy come in. Oh, because I'm not on Perpetual Wisdom. Damage in days when you activate Cosmic Wisdom. I actually did have a CC. I could have tapped F2. All right, last one. I don't think I'm going to kill Churai on this build. I really don't. Like, I'm not even close. Like, I'm out of endurance. There's shielding hands. Yeah, fucking 20 vulnerability he had on me. I've cheated like 3 animations there because warrior animations suck. Oh my god. Oh, I did it! Okay, we might actually win. Really want Razza to heal me. But I'm off cooldown. Oh god, actually my cooldowns are lined up really badly here. Oh, he's CCable now, is he? Ah, fuck. What's he stun me doing that? I cannot believe we're beating Churai right now. Oh god. Okay, yeah, we beat him. Wow. Wow. But what? What? There were like 2, maybe 3 warrior animations he tried to use, and just through the way that I WAS indeed, they just completely whiffed. They missed, even though they should have just killed me. I can't. What? We even got the little serpentine to. I had no endurance and no blocks. I had nothing, so I did a serpentine to dodge the dagger, and it worked, which I've never seen happen either. I've never seen that work. I didn't even know it was possible. I thought they would like snap to you maybe. But that he missed the dagger just because I did that. That was actually a little skillful moment there. One tiny little moment. And then he broke the bar. This was annoying. This heal I really needed, and it was just off cooldown. Wow. Crazy. But look, the thing with Conduit is not that it's not busted, because I think it is really, really... Yeah. But also just... it's like Guardian as well. It's the same as with Luminary. Just very, very, very strong... core shit on the class, you know, that kind of really carries it in a lot of ways. But I will say, to be fair, I was using the traits, I was using the skills. We did that with Conduit. We did that with Entity Stance. And we actually used Entity Stance. We broke the break bar with Beguiling Haze, plus like Axe 5, I think. We got a few stun breaks. We got the damage reduction from Shielding Hands. So we utilized it. We did utilize it. I think it's I think they're uninteresting skills, but they had their application. Paragon Shout Healer is epic top. Is it really? Interesting. You tried Paragon. After several hours, you got a grip of it. Surprisingly, full DPS with tweaks plays incredibly well. Well, come to Discord. Tell me how you ran it, and we'll see. So there you go, guys. That is the first 3 elite specs. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I know it's been a long one, or a longer one. I know I started quite late. It's actually just past midnight for me here, so I'm going to stop. Thank you all. If you've got any advice, thoughts, suggestions, if I missed messages, let me know. And just a massive thank you to everyone who was here, who saw this live, who was in chat, who kept me company. I do really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. And Debbie will probably be gone, because next time... I'm pretty excited and interested in the next 6. I think the next 6 all have things to offer. Celestial Scriptmancer has been your favourite of the beta so far. Weird. Conduit, while functional, I find it pretty boring. It's also weird how Guild Wars 1 classes are tied to the existing legends in an arbitrary way. Yeah, I totally agree. Sort of hammering it in a theme that doesn't really work, which I see on Luminary and Antiquary as well. There you go, guys. Thank you. Honestly, I really appreciate everyone. Hope you're all having a good day and everything's all good with you. Hope you all have your health and everything. And I will see you all next time. Take care, guys. Slime time? Yeah, next time. I think it is slime time next time. Amalgam is on the poll for the next 3. We're getting better. See you guys there.